Good morning, Soldier Boy here, and welcome back to RoadCraft for what is live stream number 47 as we continue our journey through the game. Good morning, I hope your week is going well. We're back today for 3.5 hours as we continue on in the Rebuild DLC and the first map, Contamination. Yesterday, a massive thanks to everyone who joined us. We finished Mafia the Old Country, which was a really good story, short, but then the other games have been roughly around the same. It may have seemed longer because we did them episodically. But yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it, to be fair. Really enjoyed the story. And the ending was kind of, the way it ended was really good as well. So that is done. Now, we have an issue because yesterday, in the schedule, we planned for tomorrow to also be Mafia the Old Country. But obviously we finished it. So that won't be happening tomorrow now. And I had a decision to make overnight. Just so I had enough time to plan what was happening, and my decision kind of came down to a couple of factors. So I did consider starting Ghost of Yotai tomorrow, and it's something I really want to plan. Obviously, we've waited so you guys can enjoy the story, but I kind of made the decision that actually what we should do is wait. Now, the reason for this, we have Assassin's Creed Mirage's free DLC releasing tomorrow. Not tomorrow, sorry. Releasing on Tuesday. Now, I plan to do that from launch, so because of that, I didn't want to have 3 games on the go. So my decision kind of came down to the fact that we probably need to hold off starting Ghost of Yotai until either RoadCraft or that DLC is done, rather than have 3 different games on the go. So that's kind of what I've decided. As you'll see in the chat, I've just put it in there. We will begin Ghost of Yotai once RoadCraft or the Mirage DLC are finished. I do need to double check time of release, because I don't quite know if we can do it Tuesday morning or we have to wait until Wednesday morning, depending on release time and stuff like that. But we'll figure it out. So that was my decision. Back to today, though. We continue on the Contamination map. We did a decent amount last stream, which was Monday. It didn't feel like we got a lot of stuff done because we had a few issues to start with that we had to solve and deal with before we finally got into things and got a few things done. I think we went up by 1%. I know it sounds really bad, but I think we managed to go up by 1% in what was already done. But it was only because the things we had to do were kind of infrastructure stuff to help us do more stuff, if that makes sense. If you read through my notes, we got the concrete facility up and running, which unlocked concrete slabs, and now we can build concrete bridges. And then we tried to connect the village to the water treatment plant to enable us to deliver water. And that was where we kind of ran into a few issues. So we'll have a look today. What it was we thought we could get across this broken bridge. And actually turned out we couldn't. It wasn't as simple to get across as we believed. So we encountered a few problems there. And that was when we're trying to get concrete slabs to make the bridge. We eventually got that done. But then now it looks like we've got to build another bridge. But let's have a look. So if we continue on. Contamination 40% complete as it stands. 10 of 23 infrastructure requests complete. 13 of 39 objectives and 12 of 22 side objectives. The big thing we did in Monday's stream was get the concrete plant up and running. That was the big thing. Now that's done, that will help us massively. I'm not a massive fan of the wooden bridges. I don't find them wide enough. Whereas the concrete bridges, I kind of feel are a lot wider. The only downside of concrete bridges, as we found, there is a lack of concrete to recycle around the map that we've seen so far. Then we must be missing something, because there must be more. We actually brought these slabs in the end, which is the first time I've ever done that. But yeah, it just seemed like there was a massive lack of concrete that we could recycle. So that could cause us an issue wanting to make more bridges. There's plenty of trees, but I'm just not a fan of the wooden bridges. Oh, that was it, wasn't it? So we also thought we could get round this way to our bridge here, because we tried to go over this bridge and failed miserably. We had to pull ourselves out, so we went across here instead and managed to get ourselves across. And then we noticed this road is a bit washed away, shall we say. And because of that, we actually managed to tip the Trailblazer over, trying to get up here to finish off this bridge to enable us then to have access from this side. That was annoying, admittedly. But we now need to try and get that back over if we can, because that's the concrete slabs that we need to do the bridge. We've got no engine. So first and foremost today, we're going to jump into the Scout. I know it's got a trailer, so this bridge may not go very well. We won't really know until we try. We're going to try and jump into our Scout with trailer. You can't take the trailer off, which is annoying, admittedly. It sounded really good when we first saw this vehicle for the first time. This is one of the newer vehicles. Sounded like a good thing having a trailer on the back, but actually it's turned out to be a nightmare. Because you can't take it off, reversing it is very tricky. And once you do put something on the back of it, there's no crane obviously to take it off. But also it slows the Scout down so much, it's actually not very versatile because of it. You kind of lose that versatility that Scout vehicles generally have. If you're loading it up with something else, maybe. But even then, I just think the lack of versatility just messed things up massively. Right, we're going to try and cross this, and then we're going to try and get to the mule so we can turn it back over, deliver the concrete slabs, and then decide what we're doing about that other broken bridge. Because obviously we need to get water across to the village. That's a mission we've had for a long time, we've just not managed to do, but now we've got access to the water plant. Don't go off. No. Getting dodgy. Reversing is a nightmare because that trailer, that's the only downside here. I'm trying to be careful because that trailer flies off, we're in trouble. What are we stuck on? The trailer's off. You can see the wheels of the trailer have gone down. And now I can't go forward. Okay, this may be a problem. No. I knew that this was always going to be potentially an issue. Trying to get across this bridge with a trailer. But it's a proper issue now, because I can't actually go anywhere. Yeah, okay. There's no point struggling with this. It's done. There's nothing we can do about it. So, we might as well recall this. We still need to get this flipped over, so to do that we can either come, I think the best way to do it would be to send something from down here. It's just we've got to drive quite a long way to get there. Another Scout vehicle is probably our best bet. Where's another Scout vehicle? Yeah, I've got one there. That's our nearest one. Let's do that. Okay, so if we quickly jump to garage, I think we're probably not going to use that Scout vehicle again on the trailer. It's just not worthwhile. I just think it causes more hassle than we actually want to deal with. Right, Scout down here. I think we can get this back up. No, that's on its side as well. We're doing well with Scouts at the minute, aren't we? Okay, so we're going to have to call the Scout from here. We'll pick a Scout that isn't out, I think. We've got the Lynx that isn't out currently. So let's use our Lynx. The aim with this one is we're going to try and get to where we rolled the mule over. And we're going to try and get that back on its wheels so then we can deliver them concrete slabs. That's what we need to do, really. That's kind of the first thing today, because once we get that bridge open we can then do the mission with the water, get that done. Just because we've had that mission for such a long time, I don't like leaving missions not done when we've had them a while. I kind of feel like we should be doing them in kind of an order of receiving them, if that makes sense. So I think that's got to be our priority. But yeah, for those that aren't aware, Husky Mirage is releasing a free DLC as of Tuesday, 18th of November. And we plan to do it on release, which is why we're holding off on Ghost of Yotei. It's only going to be for about a week, I think, because I don't think the DLC will be very long. But also, we're not far finished on RoadCraft. We're quite a while still finishing the DLC, to be fair. I believe there's some new vehicles coming this month as well, to be fair. I'm pretty sure I'd read somewhere there was some new vehicles coming. but I can't remember exactly what they were. And hopefully we haven't finished, so that way we can actually get to see them. And as far as new content coming to DLC, I don't know if there is any more coming. Something I need to have a look at, really. Whoa, I'm a bit out of control. I suppose looking up things for RoadCraft isn't too bad, because you don't really ruin the story for yourself, do you? That's the thing, compared to other games. So I need to have a look and just see what's coming up. I'm hoping there is more coming. I'm hoping there's more DLCs and stuff coming in the future. But I'm just trying to see if my boys are still like that. Because I really enjoy the game. I think it's quite good fun. The only annoying thing I have is the fact that they released the changes they made. So things like the difficulty modifiers, the fuel and damage, they released them after we'd already started. So we haven't really had the benefit of that. Because, so I'm just checking where we're going. Because to have the benefit of the damage modifiers and the fuel, we'd have to restart the whole thing. And I don't want to do that, so we've kind of missed out a little bit on that side of it. Annoyingly, but it's one of those things, isn't it? Although I would suspect if we had damage on from the start, we probably would have destroyed a lot of vehicles. That's the only downside. Right, we want to go over this railway line. Round the corner and then follow the next one down. Take the little wooden bridge. We are going to have to build another bridge to get to the village. I'm not trusting going across that really rickety wooden bridge that's currently there. So we're going to have to think about doing a second bridge once we get the concrete slabs to this first one done. It's just going to be a case of what bridge we do. Stop. Close to going down there. Just we've had this mission a while, and it's annoying me we've had it a while. I'm kind of rushing a little bit. Sorry, my little voice is messing so to school. And rushing is bad. These things can go wrong so quickly. Right. Right, where are we jumping off this? Crossing just here. There's a crossing coming up. We head left, then we can go across the wooden bridge. And hopefully we can then get the mule back on its feet, wheels, whatever you want to call it. And then we can then make a plan. We've got quite a few side missions on the go currently. There's one main mission as well. But obviously, I try to do one main, one side, to be fair. But we've had this side mission for so long, just because of the lack of being able to get to where it is. Now we've opened the concrete plant, obviously it makes life a lot easier to get there. And now we could use this wooden bridge to get the order across, but there's that, you've always got that dodgy part of what happens if things go wrong. And inevitably they generally do. I don't really want to try and have to pick up a water container from out of the water if we can avoid it. So safer option would be to build a second bridge where the first one is collapsed and use that one as our way to get there. Right, so this is where the mule went off. We thought we could make it across and we couldn't. There's our mule as it slid down the road there. We obviously need to get down there too and see if we can tow it back on its feet. Now we have tried using this before for winching stuff and it's not the most powerful, but I'm hoping it's enough just to get this going across. Obviously it has got concrete slabs on the back, so the weight of it is going to be quite high. Come on. Okay. I did have this concern that maybe it's going to be too heavy, the concrete slabs. I don't know if it's going to stay. No, so engines, I can't get the engine to go on so we can do that. Okay, I don't think I can pull it from where it is. What about if we try and pull the front round instead? The problem we have is obviously the concrete slabs are very heavy. That's the other issue we've got. Come on. There's nothing there, is there? The only other hope I've got is to try and get the other side of it and push it. Or the other thing we can do is try and use a tree as a way of stopping us moving and get the winch going that way. Something we've done in the past. There. To use the tree as a buffer, because it will pull us back once we try and pull in the winch. So if we go there and then connect the winch to, I'll do, and then pull winch. Obviously you can't pull us through the tree. Okay, that's worked to a degree. There's a little bit more we need to get over. I can't get another angle, can I? What's that connected to? The tree itself. Let's see if not enough to start the engine. Okay. I thought maybe we could start the engine there. Hopefully we can get another angle. I know we're using the tree as a ballast, but I can't get another angle on it. No, not from here. What I need to do is reposition this ever so slightly. We still want to use the tree as the blocker. But I want to see if we can still get an angle to pull. Yeah, it's not going to give us an angle, I don't think, is it? Oh no, maybe. Hang on. Ish. I don't think it's on its side. Whether that's enough? No, still can't get the engine going. We may be able to push it over now, though. That's the other side. That's the other thing. We may be able to get an angle to push it. Obviously, we need to be careful not to flip this at the same time. We could recover it, but the annoying thing about recovering it, we have to come back and pick everything up. So I'm trying to avoid that if we can avoid it. I think that's just sunk it further in the water, isn't it? It hasn't worked really. No. Okay, there is a tree in that middle bit. I don't know if I'm going to be too far away to try and hook up a winch to it though, that's the only thing. If we can get to that middle bit and use that tree as ballast again, like we just did. Hopefully I'm not too far away. Yeah, we are. I need the top end. Yeah, there's nothing there, is there? Look. I don't think we're about to do this the way I wanted to. Annoyingly. I'm just trying to think what's the quicker way of doing this, but I don't think there is one now. I think our only real option is to get a crane here. Unless we want to recover it, which I really don't want to do. If I can avoid it. I also want to spend ages though trying to do this when I know we could do it quickly with a crane, but it's still a drive though, that's the thing. Whatever we decide to do is still going to be one hell of a drive to get it here. There's no way of getting that across, is there? The only other thing we can try and do is try and pull this back end round this way. There's no movement on the back end at all, is there? I'll just pull the tree down instead. That wasn't intentional at all. I just thought that would actually help us, but no. So the only way we get the mill back on its feet now, then, I think, is to get a crane here. Because I've got no way of doing it otherwise, I don't think. Okay. The thing is, we so need this, that's the thing, to just get this bridge finished. Once that bridge is done, our life becomes a lot easier. Is that bridge usable? Do we try and send across this scout? As this has a lot more power than the one we were just trying to use with this winch. Let's try and send this scout across via that bridge there. I'm pretty sure this scout has more power. Let's check this. I could be completely wrong in this. But if we go to the one we just used, and the winch strength is 6 tons, and the Malamute we're currently in, this one, winch strength, 4 tons. So the other one's got a stronger winch. So actually, no, don't use the Malamute because it won't work. I thought that had a stronger winch than the Lynx, but obviously not. It's got a longer one by 2 meters, but 4 ton less. Okay, so that won't work. That plan's out the window, isn't it? Okay. I don't want to recover it. I think recovering it would be bad. We need to get a crane there. The problem is, whatever crane I use, we've got to drive to here, which won't take long, but it's got to get across that wooden bridge. That's the bit I'm a bit concerned about. But I don't feel we've got much choice here, to be fair. What's that? Oh. Tree car. I wonder what that was then for a minute. Right. Okay, we're going to have to drive a crane, aren't we? The Vostok is currently by the concrete factory. We need something fairly quick, is all I'm thinking, but also can deal enough weight. So these things we don't use very often, mainly because I find them really annoying, because they don't really carry enough weight. 15 ton is the lift weight. If you compare that to, that's only 10 ton. They can actually lift a decent amount then, actually. I've never used them because I've always found them really annoying. Let's deploy one. I've always said they weren't strong enough to do enough to make it worthwhile using, but let's give it a go. As I say, we could recover the mule, but because it's got concrete blocks in the back, we'd have to pick them all up. I don't really want to avoid doing that if we can. Just because it's going to be a really awkward area to try and be flat enough to pick them up. So I want to try and give it a chance to get, and it's already there. It's just annoying. We kind of misjudged the road bit. I know this is slowing us down doing this, but it will just save us so much time. Although while we're wasting the time doing this, that could potentially being saved by not just recovering it. I don't know. Well, possibly. But that once that concrete bridge is done, that gives us so much more access to over this side. It will make things a lot easier in terms of getting to the village and things. So we're going to try this to get the mule back on its legs, and then if it doesn't work, I think we've got no choice really to recover it. I don't want to keep sending crane after crane and none of it work. So we are just going to have to recover, pick up the slabs and go again. It just wasn't what I had planned. Which is just a bit unfortunate, really. I think the other issue we've had with these smaller cranes, and the reason we kind of stopped using them once we got the bigger ones, was mainly also because they're not as good in dodgy conditions. They do struggle a little bit with mud and stuff. compared to a lot of the other vehicles we have and other cranes. So because of that, they're not always as useful. I didn't realise though the Vostok, the tank crane essentially, its actual strength of wind strength is poor compared to a lot of others. It's 5 ton less than one of these smaller cranes. But yeah, it's quite a cool vehicle just to use, really, to be fair. And I suppose it's currently at the concrete factory. It's one of those places where I think the wind strength itself doesn't matter as much, because it can do what it needs to do whilst there. Now the only downside is we've got to drive this across that rickety wooden bridge, which is a slight issue. We're just going to take it really easy. We're going to do all this, get the mule on its feet, or not, or fail getting the mule on its feet, and think we should have just recovered it in the first place. It's just through then having to pick up the slabs again. That's the problem. That's what I'm trying to avoid, having to re-pick up stuff, but may not have a choice. Right, if I remember correctly from our last go, we go round this way, then over the next round our line we're going to follow it until the junction. So that's a long time since we're using these smaller cranes. Their reach isn't very good either, that's the other reason. You can see it's struggling a little bit on these conditions, whereas most of the vehicles fly. But yeah, this is struggling a little bit. Right, we want to go left here. And then we've got to be very careful not to get this to go over along here. It's not liking being on the railway track, is it? Come on. Because the wheels are on the edge of the track, so it's not liking it. But we don't want to be too far to one side, that's the other issue. Try to want one side in the track and one off, but it's just not. I don't want to slide off the side. Come on. It's better work. After all this better be able to lift the mule. I think we can unstrap one on the side, because that's the other thing we could possibly do, is unstrap, make the mule easy to move. Either way, we have to re-pick up all the concrete, but it may be an option, really, to be fair, if this can't lift it as is. Right, we've got to take it really nice and easy across this bridge. Thanks for the likes, very much appreciated. We've got to take it nice and easy across this bridge, otherwise this is going in and we'll just waste the last few minutes getting here. So nice and easy. Such a long time since we used one of these as well. When we first saw these, I thought, oh, these are going to be amazing, because of their size, and I thought they were going to be quite nimble, and yeah, they were a bit of a letdown, to be fair. Okay, so we're nearly there. Do need to think about going down, don't we? Although, do I stay on top and do it? No. So all we're trying to do is get the mule back on its feet so we can then carry on delivering these concrete slabs. Alright, stop that. I don't know how well this is going to work. I'm hoping it will. That could be completely wrong. See, that's its reach. It hasn't got a massive reach. And considering weight-wise, it should be okay. Yeah, we're tipping. We kind of need to be sat next to it, don't we, really, I think. We can't be on an edge like we are now. Okay, let's try this again. The problem is the water depth potentially could be a problem here. Okay, we've just about got up enough. Well, it told us we were in a bad position. Okay, let's try that. This is all to get a bridge working so we can get some water delivered. still, I just can't lift it. It's not powerful enough to lift the mule. Let's try and tighten the rope just to try and get some movement. Okay, the only other thing we can try is try and drive while the crane's there. No. Got nothing, has it? Okay, so we could try a single connection point. And go from front here. We probably should put anchors down. I don't think anchors are helping. It may be okay, we might have to rethink our plan here. It's so close to being back on its feet. It's not far away. It's just, oh, we're going to get stuck in the mud now, aren't we? Nearly there. There we go. There we go. Can't go any more that way. Come on. I think I need to lift it from the top if we can. Oh, I think I had it there. Come back there. It's so close to being able to be got back up. Obviously, it is the slabs that are the problem. We have got anchors down as well, but it's not helping the situation. Yeah, it's just not strong enough to do what we want it to do. I'm going to drown this if I'm not careful as well. I just wanted to move it a little bit forward out the way of it. See if that helps us. So we're not in the way of it if we can get it over. No, we're done. No, we're not. We can always rescue ourselves. Yeah, I think that doesn't help us there. It's got to be, I think our only real option here is to see if we can undo the straps, let the cargo out. There we go. And that might be our only option here. Yeah. That will obviously hopefully make it lighter. There we go. But we didn't lose them all, luckily. Okay. Well, we didn't lose all the cargo, which is something. Now we need to get everything reloaded. Problem is we had overloaded it originally with the concrete slabs. We did more than we've actually taken previously. So we knew we was going to be overloading ourselves. I just thought we could make that bridge, and obviously we misjudged it. That was right at the end of the last stream as well. Right, we need to get these loaded, and then we can carry on towards the bridge. And hopefully get these done, and that once that bridge is running, that will make our life so much easier to get back across. The next time we'll probably just recover this just to save that time. We do still need to build a second bridge though, because we need to do one where the other bridge has collapsed, which is what caused all this mess in the first place, because we thought we could get across the collapsed bridge, and actually it turned out we couldn't. Yeah, there's a lot of weight on the back of the mule right now. Okay. Load is strapped. We need to get through this water though still, and get to there. We're not far away. It was just because this washed out road here didn't help us. It's getting across this water without drowning. What I'm going to do is quickly, I'm going to see if we can move this out of the way, because this now is going to be a problem. I know this doesn't do very well in these kind of conditions, but I need to kind of move it if we can. Come on. That'll be a no, this is moving nowhere. We need to carry reverse and then put the anchors away. There's a chance sometimes. Front wheels can't get any grip. The back, it's a front wheel drive, isn't it, I think? Although it says all wheel drive. Got nothing. Right, okay. Obviously the risk we have here is obviously I don't want this falling over again. No, don't do it. And because we have the weight on the back, this is always going to be heavy on the back end. Need to get past there without tipping. There we go. I think we're okay now. Don't do it. The weight is really not helping. But we knew this when we loaded this. We knew we was overloading it. 5 is generally the limit of concrete slabs you can use that can carry at once. So we knew there was always a possibility. Well, we knew we was overloading it, essentially. We thought we could get away with it. So far, that hasn't happened. Come on. It's out as far as it can go, isn't it? Obviously, there's deep water there we've got to watch out for as well. This is all just to get a bridge to work. I don't know if I can carry on this edge. I think we've got to go across to that side over there. I just know this is really deep water. So there's a chance of drowning the vehicle, which would be really bad. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay. I didn't know the bank was going to be that high up, to be fair, but that's a quite high bank, isn't it? Right. We're so close to where we need to be. That's the annoying thing. Just got to get there. Right, there's a dirt road here. that potentially we can use. Yeah, if we can get on this dirt road, I think we can get to our bridge. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Come on. All this just to build a bridge. So I was trying to fog crane, but I couldn't. Yeah, there we go. Crane's good at saving us, but obviously it adds weight to one side. Right. Hopefully this bit in here isn't too deep. It is. It's the weight of it, of all the slabs is causing so many issues. But we knew this. We're overloaded by 2 or 3, I think it is. We knew it would cause problems, but I didn't think it'd be this bad. What we caught? Was that a tree stump? Okay. Right, our bridge is there. We didn't know what this section was like, but it was the easiest place to build a bridge. There's actually old connections there we were utilising. But we didn't know what it was like. And obviously, I can now see stumps, trees. There's a few bits there that we're going to have to contend with. So we're going to have to make this good ourselves. Which is easy enough to do from the other side. That's why if we can get the bridge working, we can clear this path a lot easier. And that'll make our life easy. We need to actually get the bridge working first. Otherwise it's a long drive every time. Although it's not too bad actually, we can get through here I think. There's our connection point. Am I on the wrong side of it? Yeah, I'm on the too far. It's on the left hand side over there. If we can get there, we're golden. That's the thing. And this version of the mule can carry the same weight as the Voron, so even using the Voron won't be any better here. There's no way we'll be able to use the Wayfarer. That's horrendous in itself. But I think we've done it. I'm going to have to knock a tree over. There we go. Bridge is built. We've done it. That's what we were intending to do. We've done it. That is done. But that isn't the end of our issues, because we now need to get another bridge working here. We did try to use this bridge and we got stuck in the middle. I thought, Platts Bridge, we can use that. No. Now, I'm not a fan of the wooden bridges, but I wanted the wooden bridge would be quicker and easier to do, because we could just get our vehicle over to do it. Although actually, there's nowhere really close to do that, is there? Although concrete slabs aren't close either, to be fair. I know we bought those, but there's no... The place to buy them is further south. But yeah, we need to find a way, because that road is no good. We've just tried that and found what happened by getting washed out here. Whereas we can use the sand quarry and come through there, essentially, to make that bit there done. Because the two water we need to deliver are here and here. But now we need to sort this bridge out. I'm just not a fan of the wooden bridges. I just find them really tricky. They're not wide enough, essentially. I like a good wide bridge. But the lack of concrete around the place is not helpful. That's the thing. How many concrete slabs? Because it could be what we need to do is go and buy some more slabs from here. Which actually isn't too far away. It's just this was a lot further, obviously. So let's try this. Let's see how many concrete slabs we'd need for this. Because if it's 5, we can... Yeah, 5 will work. Okay, so that's one load, essentially. So we may as well send this back now to go and buy some more slabs. Normally, we'd just recycle. I wouldn't bother buying them. But the problem with that... Well, in fact, let's not do that. Because this is... We need to use this to get across to get the water. let's leave that there. Let's get the Voron to go and pick the slabs up. The reason for that is if we use the Voron, we then got 2 vehicles over to pick the water up, is my thinking. Because we're going to need to do 2 runs anyway. It won't fit in just 1 vehicle. So either way, we need to use 2 vehicles anyway, or do 2 runs. So we'll grab the Voron. We're going to go and buy some concrete slabs. Again, I don't think it cost us much last time, to be fair. We've got plenty of money, I'm not worried about that. It's just lack of concrete to recycle means that buying them is better than trying to recycle them at the minute. Unless there's a stash of concrete that we can recycle somewhere I've not seen. So well and good. Get the concrete plant up and running. Really, it's not the recycling side we wanted. It was the bridge side. But knowing we can't recycle is annoying. But there must be stashes I've just not seen of concrete to recycle, surely. But it's able to make the bridges what we wanted. So we're going to send the Voron to go and pick up 5 concrete slabs from the shop. We'll deliver them to the bridge that we've just built, and then we'll drive the mule to pick up the water and the Voron to pick up the water. Once both lots of water are picked up, we'll then take 1 vehicle, deliver it, and then we'll swap back to the other vehicle and deliver that one as well. And that will be mission done. I know it's a side mission, not a main mission, but because we've had this mission so long, I really feel like we need to get it done. And then we'll look at the next main mission as well after that. 45 minutes in already today. We've barely achieved anything. It's so easy to because you've got to focus on trying to make things easier for yourself. It is so easy to spend time doing infrastructure that helps you in the long term, but makes you think you've not really achieved too much. But it's the problem solving that I think is really good about this, that I enjoy anyway. But yeah, I think I've made the right decision about Ghost of Yotai and the Mirage DLC. Obviously we said we'd do the Mirage DLC on release, so I do think I've made the right decision by delaying it. We could start it tomorrow, but then next week we've got Mirage, so then we've got to put something on the back burner while we've got 3 games on the go, which we really don't want to do. So it's going to be a lot easier just to pause the start of it till either this is done or the Mirage DLC. And like I say, I'm estimating about a week, maybe a week and a half for the Mirage DLC. I don't think it'll be longer than that. You know, 3 streams a week, 3.5 hours a time. Right, where do we need to go for the shop? So the shop is over here. So in fact, we just followed this road round. There we go. Let's follow it round. Yeah, I don't want to have to pause it after starting it for 1 stream, so I think we're better off holding off, and we'll get to it in due course. Yeah, I think from what I've seen, it's roughly 12 hours they recommend, or reckon it will be. It's 3.5 hours a stream plus extra time because we're streaming it, because there is obviously a slow point because you're explaining things or showing things, talking about things. So I always say it takes longer to play a game when you're streaming it than it does to just play it. Not by much, but by a few hours I would say. So if we allow 15 hours instead of the 12 it recommends, or reckons it will be, a week and a half essentially, isn't it, 3 streams. So yeah, Ghost of Yotai won't be far off starting, it's just for the minute, we're just going to hold off until this is done. Right, we already bought an extra one last time. What happened last time, annoyingly, is every time we brought a slab, it ended up on top of this crane. So what I'm going to quickly do is move the crane out the way, because they actually were on top of it. We had to move this in such a way that it made them fall off in the end. Otherwise it wouldn't allow, they were just sat there on top of it. But we need 4 more concrete slabs essentially. 1,500 credits to go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't tell me they're on top of it again. They're on top of the crane again, aren't they? Yep, there they are. Look, on top of the crane. Why does that do that? The only thing I can think is we need to put it further that way. I'm not going to get them to fall off this time, am I? Last time we managed, they were further over the edge, I think. I'm not going to get them to fall off, I don't think. I haven't got a big crane here either. They are moving slightly forward, look. Oh, it's going backwards now. They are getting that. No, I think they're moving more forward than they are back when we do it. Obviously, I think the crane needs to be more left when we buy stuff in future, if we buy anything else. Come on. They're not moving every time we stop, that's an annoying thing. I don't think the mule's crane is going to, the Voron's crane, sorry, is going to reach to come off either. Well, there's no way it's going to reach. We actually made them fall off so much easier last time. This must have been more to the right that they went on slightly differently. Because last time it didn't take much to make them fall off, whereas this time they're not falling off as easily. Don't think, does that hit them? Oh, it does hit them. Oh, I didn't realise that. That doesn't help us though, does it? Okay. Well, I can buy some more, essentially, and make sure this is out of the way this time. Obviously it's a waste of money from our side of things. Actually no, let's hit that, keep hitting the stopper, they'll fall off. They are getting there with that stopper there. There we go, it's nearly there. I think if we buy anything in future, we need to make sure this crane is where it is now to avoid this happening. They're nearly off. There we go. There you go. Yeah, not ideal, but it is what it is. Okay. Get these loaded up in the Voron, and then we can go and build this bridge, and then we can get the water dump. Needs to be slightly this way. It's just on the edge. Come on, pull back. There we go. We're not as efficient with this crane, I don't think, than the smaller ones, admittedly. We don't use these cranes enough, really. Okay. But yeah, 5 in the back isn't as bad as the 7 we just did. Was it 7 or 8 we just did? 5 is generally the max we can take in the mule and the Voron before it's just overloaded. Hence why we had the issues a minute ago with the mule. And that was the better mule as well, that can carry the same amount as the Voron. Whereas the standard mule can't I think it's 2 ton less. I think it is. And 1 less stability. Can't zoom in to see anymore, can I? Come on. Do need it to be as kind of flat as possible, just because we're stacking 5 high. Don't know how straight that is. Not very. I can't get close enough to see it. That's the problem. Let's swap to the actual this. Yeah, it's slightly too far, isn't it? Right, I don't think we can pick up the last one anyway. So what we'll do is we'll just do this to the crane on this. I'm going to move this one that's on the back already quickly. But yeah, next time we need to remember to move the crane out the way, so we don't have the issue we just had with them on top. So far today is not starting off the way I wanted to. But we managed to get the mule back working again. That's something. We've got it out of the situation we put ourselves in. Just took a lot longer than I thought it would. There we go. Okay. Then we've got one more. Like I say, these carry 5 quite happily. It's the 8 we had on the back of the mule that was the problem. Right, anchors up. Going to reverse up to the other one, so we can grab that. And then we'll go and do the second bridge, and then we can do this water. The villagers waited a long time for us to do. And now we've got the access. It shouldn't be too bad. There we go. Okay, what is our journey? So we want to head to Pile Key, essentially, and we're going to this bridge here that we've just put on. So to get to Pile Key, from where we are now, there is a tree blocking the road there. Let's try. What's the easiest way? There's a road here which goes under this, so we need to go this way, I think. I don't really want to cut across that field. That only goes to there. We can cut through the trees, but that's going to be dodgy. There's no point messing around and doing anything that's going to effectively go wrong. You know, we've got to be sensible about this so we can actually get it done. No point risking something for the sake of it to be a couple of seconds quicker. So I think let's focus on just getting there. So we'll take the safer option so we don't mess up again. So if we head left and up the hill, yeah, they are definitely our max loaded, these 5. But we've done 5 before and it's been fine. You can tell it's max loaded, but it's fine. The 8 on the mule was just too much. But you don't, until you do these things, you don't learn from them. That's the thing. We have to try, and then we figure out, okay, that's too much. Okay. So it's this right-hand turn here, so we can go under that bridge that we just saw. Struggling a little bit with the conditions. These conditions aren't bad, although we are, like I say, max weighted, I suppose. Okay, I think it's down there. Yeah. Because we had them 2 weeks on being able to stream, I've completely lost knowledge of the map and where things are. I have to keep checking so much, whereas before I kind of knew everything was in this map. Yeah, I need to have a look and see what else is coming to RoadCraft. I know there's new vehicles coming in this month, but I don't know when. I need to double check that. I think we're going right here, or are we going through the water? We go right. We don't. We can go through the water, but that leads to a place where we need to build another bridge to get across to the steel beam factory. That's something we do need to do at some point. That can hold off for a minute. So we head right. Yeah, there's new vehicles coming. I think there's 3 new vehicles. I'm not sure what they are. But other than the DLC Rebuild DLC that's released, I'm curious to see if they are going to continue supporting the game and add more to it. Hopefully they do. But I've not heard anything. I've not looked at it, but I've also not heard anything. So it'd be nice to keep adding more stuff, like they do with SnowRunner. You know, they're constantly adding new stuff to SnowRunner. I know Expeditions. I've heard that there is one more update coming for Expeditions, like content update, and then that's it. There's no more after that, which is a shame. We are going to get to that at some point soon, hopefully, episodically rather than live. I know it's completely different to like SnowRunner and stuff, but it's something I do want to play. I know it's not gone down very well with people. I know people were a bit disappointed with it, but it's just another title that I want to play. I think we're probably going to start it when I get to the point of deciding episodically, like something for myself. We discussed this not too long ago, where you guys vote on the episodic stuff, and I know we're lacking episodic videos at the minute. I'm still trying to play catch up and still falling asleep. But my thinking is when we finish one of the episodic bits, I will then take one slot for myself, like we discussed, and in doing that I think I'll probably start with Expeditions first. I didn't really want to do it alongside SnowRunner, which is going to be going on for a very long time. But I don't feel like I'm ever going to start it if I don't. Right, bridge is done. So, we need to then drive through the quarry up here. We've already got the muleys waiting on this bridge, but we'll get this to the bridge at least. Then we'll jump in the mule, carry on across, pick up the first lot of water, and then, well, okay. I thought this was a road, but look at this. It's definitely a road, but it's a little bit overgrown, shall we say. We know the other road is washed out, so this seems to be our only choice at the minute. But yeah, so I probably will do Expeditions as my first choice for when I decide one episodic slot a week, and then you guys will vote on whatever finishes after that. It was either that or Construction Simulator. They're two of the games I really want to do, and I've held off playing them personally because I don't really play anything personally anymore. Everything's generally for the channel. The only thing I do play personally at the minute is on the Switch 2. I've been playing Pokemon, mainly because my son is as well, so we trade and stuff, battle each other. And then the only other thing I'm playing for myself is DayZ. I've been playing a bit of that for like an hour in the evening. But that's about it at the minute. We may need to put some sand down there at some point. Right, we did see that the actual route to our bridge we put down isn't brilliant. It's a little bit overgrown, but I think manageable for the minute. I don't know how much we're going to use this route currently, so I don't want to spend ages, you know, making this route better until we know we're going to need it a lot more than we do currently. Our bridge is to the left there. If we start having to use this route a lot, then we will do some work to make it easier. But at the minute, I don't think we have to. If I can squeeze past the mule, we might as well stay in the Voron. Yeah, there we go. Right, we're going to go and pick up the first water container, then we'll swap back to the mule, pick up the second, and we'll convoy it across, essentially. So now we've got across to here. We've got this bridge working to get across to the water treatment plant. We may need to move our crane out of the way. So when we come across, we need to head through this bit on the left. Yeah, I don't know how much we're going to... I know we've taken time to get the bridges working and up and running, but it is mainly for this mission. And then after that, I don't know how much we're going to use them. I'm going up here, aren't I? Like I say, if we have to use that route a lot, we'll clear a lot of the trees out of the way, just so it makes our life easier. That's an old convoy that's still running, that one. We want to go straight across and then left. So through this gate ahead of us and then left, and then right. See the bridge there. I can't get to it from this side. It's through this bit here and then right, I believe. Again, we've not done this route very much because we've only just really got it up and running. So trying to remember directions here is tricky. This is probably not the best place. Might have to use that big crane to move them blue containers out of the way. That'd make that turn a lot easier from there. Right, we are going to need to move the crane, aren't we? We use this to get the bridge working. We have to use it to manoeuvre the bridge and get it to spin, hence why it's there. Okay, let's find that. Right, I think it's going to be fairly simple to get to where we need to go to get this water. We haven't been fully across the bridge yet, so even on the map, it's still clouded over, whatever you want to call it. Fog of war, fog. But I'm hoping it's a simple route. I think it will be. Yeah. This follow gets into the water treatment plant itself. Yeah, this is fine. There was a concern this may not be simple or might be blocked or something, but no. And obviously we've cleared the route through this previously from a different mission. I think it's the way to go across is where these containers are, because that's the one we cleared. And then from here, we are going to a bit we've not been to, which is here. So we come through and it's next left. We neatly stack the containers down on the right. Very nicely stacked. That was a while back, I think, now. So it was 40% when we started today on the contamination map, which is the first of two. I wonder how much we get done today. Right, there's the two containers. I would say we can take one in each vehicle. We'll load it up and then we'll swap to the other vehicle to go and pick up. Is it worth swapping, or do we just drive this from here across and then swap vehicle once the first one's delivered, maybe? I don't think it's worth swapping vehicle just to have them both here picked up. Yeah, I think we'll do that. What we'll do is get this loaded and then head off, do the first drop, and then we'll swap to the mule to do the second. Just want to try and get it lined up. We want it flat in the back. There we go. Right. I think back the way we came is our best option here. So back across the bridge and then across this bridge that we made. The dodgy part obviously is going to be this bit here, because we know it's overgrown and we haven't done anything with that because we don't know how often we're going to use it. I'd say then we'll swap to the mule that's on the bridge so we'll get the second one. So these are going to two different places in Pilekey Village. As we like to kind of change what we're using. Two different trucks, two different runs will be in the best way. Still need to keep an eye out for more grey. Any grey stuff we see, we need to keep a mental note where it is, because although it does show up on the map when you flash it, there is a lack of concrete to recycle. Hence why I've been buying concrete slabs. It's not something I ever thought we'd ever do, buy materials. I thought we could always recycle, so we wouldn't ever need to do it. But actually, when there's a lack of recycling materials, buying them does make sense. I'll make sure the crane's out of the way, but we do so. But this should be a fairly simple journey to at least the concrete bridge we built, and then from there it could potentially be a bit dodgy. We shall see. Weight wise, not too bad in the vehicle. Vaughan can carry a decent amount of weight. Obviously the slabs are a bit heavier. This isn't too bad at all. So we can get a bit of speed up. Okay. Now we did come in originally from the left here. I think there's a different way here though, isn't there? Oh, maybe there isn't. Yeah, we can go left here and then that way. This bridge is one we haven't set up yet. But that, I believe, is going to go to Metal Beans facility, which we haven't got up and running yet. Can we make that turn? On the map, this looks a lot wider than what it is, actually. Yeah, easy. It's definitely a lot wider on the map. Right, down the slope, and then we get to our first of 2 bridges. I'd say this mission we've had for a long time. It's just because the infrastructure wasn't there to actually fulfill it, and now it is. It's going to make our life a little bit easier. But yeah, if we need to clear this a bit better, we will do. But I think for the minute, we don't. It's not really a must at the minute, is it? That's the thing. Now I think there is a bit of a track here, but I'm not 100% sure. Broken tree there is potentially the problem. We just need to try and keep going straight so we get that broken tree, and hopefully we can go on the end. Yeah, there we go. There's the end of it here. Okay. Not the nicest bit to try and get through. Push the barrels out of the way if need be. There we go. As I say, 2 different locations deliver these 2 in the village. Just get to the village itself first. This is still the outer part. We need to go across our second concrete bridge first, and then we'll be at the village. We can always put sand down here if we really need to, because there is a quarry here. It's not the end of the world. I mean, these trucks are really good in all conditions. This and the mule have always been really reliable and don't really get stuck. They will slow down or they get stuck a lot of the time. All-wheel drive and does definitely help, and the diff lock. But we generally leave on fully all the time. There's never never normally a reason to turn either all-wheel drive or diff lock off. That's the thing. Okay, trying to remember where the concrete bridge is. I think the road does take us straight to there. I think. So we had to build the second one because the metal bridge that was there just washed away. So we built a second concrete bridge. We could use it. I feel like I've gone the wrong way. Yeah, I have. I've gone towards the wooden rickety bridge. We want this bridge. I could risk it, but I'd rather not. There's no point risking something we don't have to do. In my head I'm thinking, I know the way, but it's because we had to come this way originally, because we didn't have the concrete slabs done to do the bridge originally. We did try going across the metal bridge that we built over, but it was so washed away, we got stuck and had to really work to get ourselves out, annoyingly. But we did get ourselves out in the end. Right, where is the track for this bridge? Okay, a little bit further on than left. I think it's here, yeah. There we go. It was a little bit hidden, that's why we didn't see it immediately. And this is a little bit overgrown as well, to be fair. No one's been through here in a very long time, other than us a minute ago. Right, we'll go to the furthest drop-off point first. And then we'll swap to the mule, the updated mule, and then go on the other one. So, this bridge was already here. That is absolutely fine. Where are we going? Right, this is Parlkey Village. One is going here and one is going here. How do we get into there? Okay, back all the way down here. So, from where we are now, come off the bridge, left, then right, follow the track around the farm. I think it's a farm, it looks like it is. Infrastructure route still going well, which is good. Yeah, follow this main road round. We'll ignore the closest one, go to the furthest. We have to come back on ourselves, I think, to get it in there. It's definitely an old farm, isn't it? Looking at it. Okay. Yeah, we head right and then in the second gate. Bit of a tight turn. I think we're going to demolish their fence. Well, actually, made it. I thought I was going to hit the fence then. The next right-hand turn, and then we'll see the drop-off point ahead of us. Maybe not. No, I missed the turn. This is where the map deceives you. I thought it was a second gate, but we've already passed the first gate. Map shows a bigger distance than actually what it is. That's the thing. So often we're deceived by what the map says, or looks like anyway. We did hit that fence. They need a new fence by the looks of it. We're helping them out. Just demolishing it ready for the new one. Right, this is where the tank is being delivered. We are here. I'm so glad we're about to have this mission done. It's taken so long to get to this point, just because of other things and infrastructure. It's so nice to finally be able to get this in position. Okay, we do try and put it in as much as we can ourselves first. There we go, first one is done. Right, let's swap to the mule that's already on the bridge over here and go and get the second one. And then get that done, and now we're mission complete. First mission of the stream then. It's only taken an hour and 20 minutes. Admittedly, we had to build 2 bridges. But still, it's taken a while. And then we'll look at the next main mission as well afterwards. Nice to have this one out of the way. There's still a few more side missions on the go that we need to look at. Don't know. Again, if we have to use this bit a little bit more, we might move them blue ones out of the way, just to make the turn a little bit easier. But at the minute, there's no rush to do so. Just depends how much we're going to use the route, doesn't it? Really. So this mule is the exact same stats as the Voron, because it's the upgraded mule. This was part of the. I think it was a free update. This isn't a DLC vehicle, although we waited for the DLC to use it. But it was part of an update that came a little while back. Definitely turned too tight. There was this, and a scout vehicle had basically a different skin, but it did change stats as well. Originally, the original mule, which we still use, is 1 less stability, and I think it's 2 ton less carry weight. This is actually equalises that to be the exact same as the raw one. I hope they do a few more updates to vehicles like that though, and give them a different skin, as long as the stats change as well. I don't want us just to change the skin on its own. But hopefully there'll be a few more yet. My driving is horrific. But yeah, hopefully there'll be a few more. Like I say, I know there's some more vehicles coming shortly in November, but I think they're just new vehicles. There's still some vehicles we've not used. Mainly the SAR vehicles. They were added in an update as well, and it's just not something we can actually use. I don't really see the reason for them. Unless, of course, one of the DLCs utilises them more. And we haven't done that one yet, which potentially could be the second DLC. Up a little more, across a little bit, come on. There we go. Right, by the way we can. Once we get across that second bridge, we'll check exactly where we're heading into Pile Key. But it was a bit close on the first one. But at least then we'll have a mission done. As I say, that's the thing with this. I think a lot of the time you think, oh, we're not really achieving much. But it's only because so much infrastructure needs doing first. And then once you get going, you can knock out a few missions in a row because you've done the infrastructure to help you more than one thing. Same as getting these bridges to swivel around. It took us a while before. I think someone told us in the end how to make them move. because we just couldn't get them to work. Only because we were using scout vehicles to make them swing, and they just weren't powerful enough. And in the end, it needed a big crane to do so. But we still were managing to get stuff done. It was just take the long route sometimes. But it wasn't obvious, that's the thing, of what you could use to actually get them to work. I think we originally tried once with a crane and just couldn't connect, and we just gave up and thought, okay, then maybe they're just not meant to, or maybe the map will just do it once we do a certain main mission. But in the end, I think we're either told exactly what to do or someone hinted and we figured it out from there. But yeah, it's the kind of thing once you know, you're like, why did we not do that sooner? Right, down the slope, across the next bridge. And that'll be the water to the village dump. I do think this is a bit faster than the Voron, hence why sometimes when you're at speed and try and take a corner, I think the steering is a little bit more sensitive as well. It does seem a bit more out of control. So if we start using this route a lot, we'll probably sort this out a bit more so we can navigate a bit easier, but actually at the minute I think it's fine as is. Watch out for the tree stump. Okay, it's where the Voron got a little bit stuck. He got through in the end, slowed it right down. Let's see how the mule does. A lot less issues than the Voron, isn't it? I think it's a little bit more powerful. I think that's what it is. Although the stats say they're the same. Definitely seems to make lighter work of that little bit. As I say, we can put sand down. There's a quarry here if we need to. Okay, we missed the right hand turn originally, so I think it's this bit coming up here. Yeah, it is. Now it'll take us to a second bridge. Now whoa, that was a nosedive and a half. Imagine if we had damage on it. Obviously, when we first started the game, there was no damage at all in the game. There was a modifier you can now have add-on. You have to start a new save to do so, which for us, with that far through, there's no point, annoyingly. Like, how many vehicles will I have trashed, I wonder? So across the second bridge, we take a left, right, and it's immediately near where we need to be. So yeah, I reckon we would have crashed a lot of vehicles. But the fuel bit, I don't think it would have run out of fuel. I know you can add that. That's another modifier you can add on now. That wouldn't have been an issue. But yeah, damage-wise, we've been in a bit of trouble. Okay, so is it up the? Because there's a wall there. Is it up the top of the wall? It is. The map doesn't really show a wall there, does it? That's the thing. This is why the map can be deceiving. Yeah, it's in there. Oh, it's actually before the wall. There we go. First mission of the stream can now get done. Finally. Let me pick it up, there we go. The village now will have water. And the villagers will be a lot better off. Mission complete. I still really miss Kelly talking just when we do missions. It's one of those things. I definitely think they made a mistake with not having her in the DLC. Whether she's on the second map or not, I don't know. But yeah, currently it's just a bit of a letdown. Oh, there's a new. Okay, so we've just gained a new side mission. We still have return the stash to the hermit, clear the hermit's construction areas, reinforce riverbank near Warmay, I think that is, and go to the sawmill station. So that's a multi-part mission, isn't it? We need to go to Sawmill Station, which is here. This is where even picking our concrete slabs up. But there's going to be something else to that once that's done. They need more resources. Pilekey has requested machinery and wood from the sawmill stage. Okay, so once we go over there, there'll be stuff to pick up from there to take over to Pilekey. By the looks of that. Main mission though, which is what we want to look at next. Repair the pumping station. Let's have a look at this. So, to repair the pumping station, we need to deliver 4 objects to the pumping station from the port. So we now need to pick up these 4 different things. One there. Container there, potentially. And then 2 things here. And we need to deliver them to the pumping station down south. Okay, so it's an easy journey, to be fair. Come across here, down past our garage, down here. The only downside, obviously, is the water here. We previously put a lot of sand down to make this more passable. There's no power here either, so I'm guessing once this mission is done, we'll then have to do power as well as part of it. So, we haven't got a vehicle nearby. I don't think. What's that? That's a crane. It's to take a container of equipment, water tank, electric motors. Okay, so these 2 is quite small. The water tank, we know the size of those. We've just done one, although that looks a little bit smaller. Whether we could take the water tank and all the other 2 together, come back for the container potentially. So if we pull in the mule to over here that we just used over here, and then we can then use that to go and do the first delivery, I think. As we was already in it anyway. So we need to head out of here and to our left, essentially. Yeah, left. So we've not done that route very much to the port because we've not needed to. I think we had to go there once for a mission early on, and that's about it. This route shouldn't be too bad, I don't think. The reason the crane is there because we've moved the bridge over, made it swing, hence why the crane is there. Is this the right way or the wrong way? Right way. Again, I did know this map, but now I've not been able to stream for 2 weeks. It kind of messed up everything, and now I can't remember any part of the map that much. So I'm hoping to be able to take water tank plus the 2 small motors in one go, is my hope. And then we might pull over the Voron for the other route, the other run. I could potentially, I don't know, it's going to depend on the size of the container. There may be a chance the container won't fit in the vehicles. And if that's the case, we have to use the longer one. So the crane that's here would actually be helpful with that. But we won't really know that until we get there and have a look properly at what size things are. Containers sometimes can fit in these vehicles, but it can be quite tight. And I don't think we want to risk balancing it. We can avoid it. Especially when we're about to head through water to deliver them. Right, the port is down there. We just need to find the way in. Don't do that. Oh, that's close. Okay. The motors we know will be small. It's where what size the water tank is. This may take 3 journeys or may take 2. It's all going to depend. We've just done 2 water tanks and they were the only thing we could fit in the back, so we know they're a fair size. Have a look at these motors. Okay, they're quite small. And the water tank is what I want to have a quick look at, size-wise. That's here. Right, the water tank we can get in, but I don't think we'll get the motor, so this will take 3 journeys. Either that, or we get a bigger vehicle, which we can't have got. But then we need another crane over there to deliver, although this would be over there. I'm trying to think the best way of doing this. I wonder if what we do, because this will be over there too. Let's go and see the size of the container. If it fits in the back of this, I've got a different vehicle we can use We'll just need a crane to load it. And that can take the water from the two generators together. I don't think that's gonna be close. I'm not sure if that fits in the back. It's also quite high up. I don't think that's gonna fit. Let's have a look. It's gonna be close, and we can't really lift it very well either. Right, we're gonna need the bigger crane over here to lift the container, aren't we? Yeah. Which also means I don't think this can carry it. Okay. Let's grab the water container while we're here then. And then we've got to use the bigger crane here anyway. Does that mean we need a bigger crane to unload it as well, actually? Possibly. So we may need to send a big crane over to where these are going, to the pumping station, to actually unload as well. Luckily our garage is quite close to the pumping station, so that does make a difference, to be fair. Right. So a third water container in quick succession. Okay, that's now on board. So, we're going to take this. I can't fit anything else in the back, can I? No. I was hoping to take the motors at the same time, but it's not going to happen. Okay. So we're just going to head and take this first and foremost. Maybe I had to get the motors in with the container, with the vehicle I'm thinking we'll use. That's not the right way to go. I think we can cut across, but yeah, it's not actually the right way out. But it's still, we can still get across, it's all good. Right, head back to the bridge, and then head towards our garage, and then we just need to take a left instead of a right, essentially. And I think I know where I'm going for this bit, without having to keep checking. Although we will have to check which bit this is being delivered to. There's 4 different delivery slots. We'll wait till we're there to have a look at that. We don't really need to know that much in advance. The bigger vehicle we can use for carrying equipment, I'm just curious to whether it's wider. Because with a container it may need to be a bit wider. I don't know if it is or not, to be fair. Maybe the same width, which potentially could be an issue with the crane, the container. That's something we ought to think about once we're there. We know we need a bigger crane to lift the container anyway, so no matter what, we have to get a big crane there. And I wonder why the bridge is ideal, really. Okay. Garage should be coming up on the right hand side. We just need to go past the quarry. Through the quarry, I should say. There we go. The quarry's there. I said I knew which way I was going, didn't I? We need to head right. Right, then left. I don't quite remember which way from here. Yeah, the garage is to the right. We can head to the stand we put down before. Because the convoy that was coming through here, it's also now fully complete, so we don't need to worry about that anymore. We are still gaining money from the other convoys that's still going. Should really have a look at those and see what's left. Have a quick look. So this one's operational. 3,950 credits still to go, with 250 credits a truck, and that is still ongoing and operational. We do keep getting the notice to say infrastructure route complete, which is what that is. So, first part of these 4 things we do, I'm pretty sure we'll need power afterwards. There you go. Infrastructure route complete, just as I said it. There. Yeah, I think we're definitely going to need to send power across once this is done. It'll be interesting. Okay. So where is this one going? We've got to manage to get through the water here. Which obviously is going to have its own issues. So this one is going where is the question? So, okay, so we're going there. So there is a gate to open now, mainly the scout vehicle, or we can push it open. We'll try and push it first. Oh, we could go in this way. We'll open the gate. Maybe a push one from the outside, or maybe a pull. If it's a pull, I don't know. The crane should be able to do it, I think. It's a pull, I think, looking at that. You can see the handle on the outside. Yeah, I think that's a pull. Yeah, that's definitely a pull. Okay. Back this up. Maybe able to do it with a crane. We have tried this in the past. It doesn't always like to connect. Yeah, see, we can't get a connection to it, I don't think. Oh, we can. There we go. We're talking rubbish there, really. Keep going, keep going, keep going. There we go. So it stops swinging a second. Elvis, good morning, how are you? Yesterday you said you wanted to ask me a question, but you didn't actually ask me the question. That camera's really close to... Oh, it's because I haven't changed camera. There we go. Change camera. Right, this is going in that slot there. There it is. I'm assuming if once we get this up and running, I think it's going to drain the water away. It does seem to be that's where it's going with this. Is a pumping station after all, essentially. I didn't know, there was no question. I said a few times, if you're still there, what was the question you meant, but I don't remember seeing a question at all. After you had said it, I didn't see a question at all. When it didn't come through on my end, yeah, there was no question. Your only comment yesterday's stream that I saw in the whole stream was the one saying, I want to ask a question. But there was no question. I don't think it came through my end. Yeah, no, ask again. It's all good. I did think it was weird that you said it and there was nothing come through, but I wasn't sure if something came up or something. Right, there we go. First part done. Right, we're going to send a bigger vehicle to get the container and potentially the 2 motors at the same time. So my thinking was for this is the Alcez C400. It's got a longer bed, so my thinking is container and 2 motors. So let's deploy that. We know we need the big crane there anyway to load the container. We'll get this there first. The reason we don't use this truck more is just because the fact it doesn't have a crane on it. If this had a crane, it would be used a lot more because you can carry more. Yeah, weird, isn't it? Like I say, the only thing I saw from you was you saying about asking a question. And that was it. Yeah, this would be the perfect vehicle to have a crane, just because you can carry more. Not just in terms of weight, but also the amount you can fit in the back because of the longer bed. Don't think it's wider though, which potentially could be a problem with this container. But I don't think there's any vehicle wider, to be fair, that you can carry stuff in. I'm trying to think if there is or not. I don't think there is. So the container's going to fit on the edges and not sit flat, or it will fit, it's just deceiving. So we'll bring the crane over once we're over there ourselves. Yeah, sorry if you thought I ignored you, Elvis. I don't know what happened. You should have said something, at least then I would have known. But it's all good. But yeah, I'd never ignore a question. Either I'll answer or I'll explain why I won't answer it, either or. Okay. So we'll go towards where the container is first. I think that's the first thing we'll pick up. The two motors are coming up on our left, we'll ignore those in a minute. We want the container first and foremost, which is over here. Park this up over this side. And then we'll go and get our crane in. Crane is just sat near the bridge, so we can bring that in now. At least we haven't got to drive too far with it. I know we've not perfectly squared up that bridge when we've actually moved it, but it works, so we don't really need to square it up too much, really. We leave it until we really need to, but I don't think we will. It doesn't bug me enough to make you think, oh, we better get it right. Like most things do, actually. It's surprising it doesn't. You would have thought I would have been bugged out by it, but... Thanks for the like, it was much appreciated. For those that have just joined us and you've seen the pinned comment, the decision on Ghost of Yotai, the reason for it is because Assassin's Creed Mirage releases next week for DLC anyway. Free DLC for everyone. So rather than have 3 games on the go, Ghost of Yotai will start whenever the DLC or this is finished, whichever is first. Oh really? Oh wow, that's weird. Well, that's obviously why it didn't come up then. I want to know what the word is now. Obviously, if it won't let you say it, you can't tell me what the word is, but I'm curious to what the word is now. Right, this is the container we need. Bring this across. Now I'm hoping to get 2 motors in the back alongside this. We'll see in a minute. The only issue we're going to have, oh wow, I think this may take up all the space, is unloading this. It's not going to fit in, is it? No. I don't think this will fit directly in the bed. I think it'll be on the edges, which should be okay. We should still be able to strap it down. Just need to get it as straight as possible. It's a bit difficult sometimes to see your angles. But yeah, we are going to need, I think, a big crane over there to unload this. I don't think the small crane on the back of the mule is going to work, so then we couldn't pick it up. Okay. There we go, it's on. We're definitely not taking the motors as well. I think that's the only thing we can take. This is going to be very top heavy. We're going to have to take this easy. It will strap though. Okay, so that is now on board. You can see how much it doesn't fit by. The other issue is going to be our view with the camera, to be fair. Because that is going to be obscured as well. I want to see if the camera would move further back, but it won't. Mark, good morning, how are you? That's in the settings though, is I don't want to mess with the settings. I never normally do. I just manage the best way we can. We just need to take this easy on the corners more than anything else. You can always just go for inside. No sleep again, that's not good. Yeah, rough night. This week's been tough. Not being able to stream for 2 weeks and then going straight into 5 days of streaming. It just wasn't a good idea. I'm struggling today because of the week. I didn't even, my other half said to me, why did you do 5 days? You did, I took Wednesday off because you knew it was going to be rough. And it's like, yeah, I don't like not doing a full week after not being able to stream for 2 weeks. Well, I'm struggling to edit and record just because I just can't set up. I finished streaming and I'm then in agony, and then I have to spend most of the rest of the day laying down. So I'm just that bad at the minute. And doing the physio stuff isn't helping either. And no, and they say, you know, physio is meant to hurt to a degree. It's the muscles getting stronger. And that's good. But when you're near enough in tears because the pain is that severe when you try and stand up, I don't think the physio's helping, basically. So yeah, I probably should have done 4 days this week rather than straight back into 5 from the start. But too late now. Unalive. Oh, okay. I understand now why the question was quite a big one. LVs. Needs to be, I know, but it won't zoom out itself, so we just manage. I could go inside, to be fair, but it's okay. I can still see round it. Right, how do I answer this? I'll be as honest as I can be, LVs. Yes, is the easy answer. For more detail, obviously, I don't think just saying yes or no does it justice. When obviously we first learned of the injuries and their severity, there were times that I, you know, had dark days and really thought, what's the point? I think because I have my family, my son, my other half, that kind of, you know, you've got something to live for, essentially, haven't you? And that's the reason we started YouTube. When we first had the accident, although we still put on the odd video up, but it was nothing really. I think it was GT Sport back then. I was at home for like 8-12 hours a day on my own. And when you're in a lot of pain and struggling to understand what's going on, and you know, it's during COVID, so there was no, my other half worked because she was an essential worker. My boy couldn't stay at home with me because I physically couldn't do anything. Straight after the accident, so he went to school because of the essential worker status. In fact, both of us were essential workers anyway. And when you're at home for that long on your own, struggling to understand and kind of work out in your head what's happened, long term, what's going to happen, there are moments. I don't think anyone would say there wouldn't be. You know, your head does start going. You do start thinking. You know, firstly, you start thinking, is it your own fault? You know, I was adamant for a while that I caused the accident. It was my fault, knowing full well I hadn't done anything wrong. But in my head, it was my fault. It was only until the police kind of come and took my statement and the witnesses' details and stuff, and they said, yeah, you weren't in the wrong. That's when I finally, you know, realised it wasn't me. But it was until that moment I blamed myself massively. So yeah, there were some really dark times. Then we started streaming, and that kind of helped because I could talk. You know, I generally talk to myself when playing anyway, in lots of different ways. I haven't changed the main game settings, no. Main game settings are what they are. Thank you for the like, but also much appreciated. I don't like changing the main settings. I know what you mean by field of view, but I just never really do. Because then you've got to go back and change it again. I don't want to do that. But yeah, so there were moments where I thought maybe my family would belt without me. And blame myself, and in some ways thinking, you know, maybe I deserved this. It was punishment for previous things. And once we started seeing a physio properly, and they then realised that actually the foot was worse than what they first thought, and there was more of a bigger issue going on, we started to get a few answers. And that was probably 6 months after accident we started getting some answers. And that helped to a degree, and the police saying it wasn't my fault helped massively. But then we had the whole issue with, right, this is the problem, and you're now stuck with it for life. And then you go through another dark period where you then start thinking, okay, now what? I'm not going to be able to use my foot again, what's the point? So then you have that. So there were, I think, a few times where there was an easy way out if I wanted it. I say easy way out, it's never really an easy way out, but it was in my head that if I wanted to take an easy way out, it was there, and there was a reason for doing so. As I say, I think the big thing was because I've got my other half of my boy, I think that kind of pulled me out of some of the dark times. But they were there. We still have them now. There are still times when the pain is that severe you want it to stop. That's the thing. CRPS has actually got a nickname, and it's not a very good nickname. And it's called the suicide disease. Because the pain can be that intense that there's only one way to get rid of it. I learned about this a little while back. So, yeah, that kind of tells you the kind of issues, what it can cause. But yeah, it's never something you take lightly. And it's never something you want to make a decision on your own. You know, I spoke to my half during some of these times. Not to start with, it took me a while before I decided to talk to her about it. Because I didn't really want to burden her. You know, she was struggling on her own. She was a single parent, essentially. I couldn't do anything. She was struggling, and I didn't want to give her more reason to struggle, so I kind of kept it to myself for a while. Eventually, we sat down and talked, and I explained some of the way I was feeling, and she then explained her side of things and how she was feeling, and that helped a lot. She said to me at the lowest point, and this is going to sound really bad. My other half is amazing. She's been fantastic all through the past 5 years, but she's had her moments as well. But she did turn around to me during this discussion and say, when I was bad, like at the start, she had some thoughts where she thought maybe it would have been better if I hadn't survived, because in her mind I was going through so much myself, pain-wise, but also putting so much strain on everyone else. And it sounds really bad when you think about it. When she told me, I did kind of take it the wrong way, to be fair. It was only when we talked more, I kind of thought, okay, I get a reasoning. But yeah, she had these thoughts of maybe, you know, things would have been different if I hadn't not walked away, but you know what I mean. And that kind of pulls you out of it a bit as well. And the other half is saying, you know, she kind of, in her way, she understands, and that's why she said it. That kind of pulls you out of some of these dark times too. But even now, like I say, I still have moments where I doubt myself, I doubt the future physically. And, you know, I'll openly admit that there are some bad times. When we had the physio appointment last week, which was part of the spinal cord stimulator pathway, final appointment we needed to get the go-ahead to have the operation. And when we sat there and she says no, you go through a few emotions, let's put it that way. You know, I've got someone sat there with past everything else in flying colours, and then I've got someone in front of me saying no. So with the only operation that can relieve some of the pain, and it's not even going to make my foot work. The spinal cord stimulator, all it's going to do is they aim for a 50% reduction in pain. Yeah, 50% reduction in pain is the aim, but the average is 20%. So when the pain is that severe to put you in tears, and then suddenly you've got someone sat in front of you saying no, that's hard to hear. And I did lose the plot a little bit last week because of it. Because, you know, we've already been told this operation is the final thing we can do. Once that op is done, if it works, brilliant, we get a bit of reduction in pain. If it doesn't work, there's nothing else. It is painkillers and that's it. You know, the foot movement will never come back. So all we're looking for is just a reduction in pain. The problem is, and we didn't know this until speaking to her, and I kind of wish, and I've had this a few times with doctors, I kind of wish we'd seen her years previous, because the things she explained we should have known by now, but no one had ever told us. But she was saying that the spinal cord stimulator, yes, it's to help with the nerve pain in the foot, but actually it will cause some big issues for the back when we first have it, and they can be long-term too. The fact we've already got the problems with the back because of the broken vertebrae, fractured vertebra, I should say, kind of makes things worse, because that pain that I currently experience. So when we finish streaming and I can barely stand up, things like that, that pain will be intensified after the operation, and that pain will go down a bit, but not fully. And if you add that onto the pain in the spine already, that's not good. So, on top of her, you know, saying no, and then explaining her reasoning, again, you then start thinking, what's the point? And yeah, it's one of those. It's not something I've never taken any thought on that lightly, and I think I have learned to talk about it more. I think that's the important thing. If I hadn't sat down and spoke to my other half, I don't know where I'd be. That's the thing. And I think on the other side of it as well, alongside that, I think it takes a lot of guts to follow that through. In any form, you know, that does take a lot of guts to do so. But you also have to think, it's not just, it's one of those things that doesn't just affect you. Obviously you're doing it to yourself, but it doesn't just affect you, it affects the people around you. And that was some of the thoughts I had at the time when things were really bad. You know, yes, this is a way out, this relieves the pain, this makes my life better, although finished, but better. But then it's what effect does it have on anyone else? You know, my son, he's going to know what happened, he's going to know the reasoning to a degree, and that's not really fair on him. And the same as my other half, you know, and that kind of does shake you out of it quite a bit. But there are moments when you do just think, what's the point? You know, when they medically retired me from work, I took that really badly. And yeah, by that point we'd been streaming a couple of years, really happy with progress. We'd met people like SLPCLK who really boosted the channel massively. But when you're told, yeah, you've got no hope of returning to work in the job that you really loved, the job you enjoyed, one that way you were progressing and moving up the leadership chain, that's a hard thing to hear. And then I've got my other half next to me saying she doesn't ever think I'll work fully again because she can't see it happening because of how bad things are. You know, and from someone who used to be, I'd say, a workaholic, I loved work. I hated not being at work, and that's bad because of the family side of things, but that was me. I just loved work and always have done. So when you're told your job's gone, you're medically retired, it's difficult to hear. Especially when you've always got that bit in the back of your head going, you can beat this. You know, I've always strived on proving people wrong. And when you suddenly think, well, actually, I can't beat this, it does hit you for six. You know, I've always been someone who's prided myself on proving someone wrong. When they said you can't do something, I'll make sure I can. You know, joining the army and stuff, I was told when I was a kid, you know, you're not going to do it, and so I did. And I did it because I wanted to, but also to prove you wrong at the same time. And it was the same in sports and stuff like that. So when you're told, when you're in the back of your head, you've still got that feeling that you can beat this, even though doctors have said you can't, and it will never fully go away. I still thought I could beat it. I still thought I could fully recover. And then when your work goes, yeah, you're done, medically retired, no chance. You're the bit of you that thinks I can beat this, then starts saying, well, actually, maybe I can't. And that realisation is hard to deal with. For someone that's always strived on proving people wrong, that little realisation of, oh, maybe I can't do this, maybe I can't beat it, that's hard to take. And still is now. That's the thing. There are still parts of me that think I can still beat this. And even though I've been told many a time now I'm not going to, you know, we can get the pain a little bit better, but that's it. Part of me still thinks one day I'll wake up and my foot will move, and I'll be the one moving it, not just these random nerve flashes where it moves anyway, which aren't real movements and such. It's just muscle spasms and stuff. But yeah, part of me still thinks I can beat it, and that's the thing I struggle with a lot, I think. You know, no matter how many times I've been told you can't, I still think I can. And conversations I've had with, because we had to go for a psych evaluation and things previously as part of the SES pathway. And they were fine. We actually had more than one appointment. We was only meant to have one. And a lot of it's because I won't accept the problems. I won't fully accept the injuries and their severity. And in my mind, I can't fully accept it, because once you do, that's it. In my mind, if I fully accept the injuries and the long-term prognosis, then I'm done. And I don't want that, if that makes sense. I know, sorry, but if anyone has just joined us, apologies for what we're talking about. What it is, it's a question that one of our long-time friends of the channel has asked, and I'm just trying to answer it in detail as I can and explain it, really. We have talked about it previously in channel updates and channel anniversary and stuff. Probably not to this degree, though, to be fair. But it's a good question, Elvis, to be fair. I get why it wasn't happy about you asking it, to be fair. Where is this vehicle? So I'm trying to work out which vehicle to pull over. We need a vehicle to unload everything. I don't want to pull that one. I want to pull the one that's at the port, I think. Right, what vehicle is this? This is the Zilk 612C. We need to pull this back to our garage and then we'll send it across to unload the container. And then that's this main mission done and potentially ready for the electricity, I think. Where is it? No, that's the UPEC. We want the Zilks. There we go. That's what we want. Right, we just need to drive this over to the pumping station, unload the container, and then I think it's going to change the mission to power. And we need to get power there, is what I think is going to happen. We'll see in a second, once we get this container unloaded. But yeah, back to what I was saying, LVs. Yeah, like I say, there's still moments now, like last Monday, being told no. And as I say, it is down to me and not accepting things. And that's the one big thing that's holding me back in a lot of ways. But it's that stubbornness of wanting to prove people wrong. When someone says you can't beat this, in my mind it's, well, let's beat it. But then when the pain's that bad that I can't even sit up, that kind of destroys your morale and your confidence, and you know, and just does affect you quite badly. But it's also the little things, like sports day, my little boy at sports day, and you have to go and sit on the field and watch. I can't physically do that. I could go and stand there and watch him, but I couldn't stand for that long in that one place to watch him. So then I can't go, you know. Many a trip my little boy and other half had, I can't join in. You know, they went and did Go Ape, which is, I don't know if people know what Go Ape is, but it's basically, you get a harness, you go up in some trees and you've got tree high obstacles to get through, and it's of course you do zip lines and stuff like that. And I did it years ago, and I loved it. I used to love things like that. I can't say I love them now, because obviously the same, but I used to love things like that. And obviously now I can't do any of that, so I can't join in. And they went and my little boy wanted to do the adult course recently, so we took him, and I had to sit in a mobility scooter and drive around watching, when all I wanted to do was be in the trees with him, you know. And it is moments like that these dark times come back. So it's a good question, Elvis, admittedly, and I think a lot of people are afraid to ask that question because they're afraid of the answer in a lot of ways. But yeah, definitely a good question. I do understand why YouTube doesn't like the wording, admittedly. But yeah, even now, like I say, in all full honesty, even now I have moments where I do still think, what's the point? And that was kind of what threw me last week, and why we didn't stream. There was a couple of days we probably could have done, but I just couldn't physically do it. Not physically, I could mentally do it. So the mission has changed, but not to what I expected. So I expected the pumping station to need power next. And no, it needs pipes. I don't know, why did I think power? Let's see where these pipes are then. So the main mission is still the same mission we were just doing, it's just added to it. So we now need to get the pipes again. Oh, get the pipes running again, it says, from the pumping station. So we've got to replace 4 pipes, and the pipes are already over here to be picked up. Normally, we have to make the pipes, but according to this, they're there. Hang on, that's not right, surely. Is there 4 pipes in there? Hang on, let me jump into this. There's a crane here. I just want to jump into it. They're pumps. They're not pipes. Okay, so it's showing me more than. So although we're clicking on the top one, it's actually showing us 2 different things here. So they're the 2 objects I need delivering over here. They are currently over here by the construction depot and sawmill. So we need to go and pick these 2 up. There is a side mission that needs us to come here anyway. So we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone there. And then they need bringing along this track here and delivering over here. The infrastructure of pipes, though, is a different one. So still part of the same mission line. There are 4 pipes that need replacing from the pumping station to the backup pumping station, which is... Which one? Please don't tell me it's this one. It's that one. Wow. Okay, so 4 pipes need replacing along this stretch. And it runs from this backup pumping station all the way this way. I'm trying to see where the first one is, to be fair. No, we're looking for a red pipe that needs fixing, essentially. There should be 4 of them along this route. I've not seen one that needs fixing yet, actually, strangely. Don't tell me they're all in the same... If they're all in the same place, that helps us. Why have I not seen a single one? They're quite noticeable when they're broken. They are red. Okay. I didn't see a single pipe. That's weird. If I can't see them, potentially they're not this way because it's to the back. Oh, don't tell me it runs. It does. It's a full loop. So this is the south loop, but it also runs north. So they're not going to be just in that one section. There's one there. That's this one. Yeah, that's one. I'm going to put a marker down. Otherwise, we're going to forget where these are. So we have to follow the pipe all the way around, and we're going to put markers down on the red pipes so we know where the 4 are. We have got 5 in our... There's the second one. In our storage, so we can pull the pipes out straight away. We don't need to make them. We need to get them to the locations where we need to drop to actually fix them. So the 2 we've found so far. Looking for number 3. This isn't all going to be in one place either, by the looks of things. Not that. I'm looking for number 3. Where are you, number 3? There's number 3, and then I'm hoping I'm placing markers down good. They're connected. I don't want them connected with that line, but I might have a choice. I may have to take them off in a minute because if that line shows, it's really annoying. Right, we're looking for one more. There's a long old section of pipe as well. Where's that last one? Where are you? Where is it? Okay, I'm missing one. I've put 3 markers down. There is one there, but I don't know if that's part of it. I think it is. I think there's one there too. Right, so we've seen the 4. I think that counts as part of the same mission chain. So we've got 4 that need replacing. They're not in good positions. They're in really frustrating positions because I don't think they're near anything. So first one is here. Oh, it's not. Where did we put the first one? Is there. That one we can do fairly nice and quickly. Although it's in the water, which could be a problem, depending how deep that is. The second one is further on this way. So what I'm thinking is we send one of our either a mule or a Voron, bring it back to the garage here. Our garage is here. Right, just because of the mission's showing, it's not showing. bring one of them back to there, pick up 2 pipes. We go along here, deliver, put one there, and then we head to here, pick up the 2 items that are here as well as get this mission done for just going there. I think that mission will then lead to other stuff, but at least we can do part of it now. Grab the 2 items here, bring them back, deliver them over here, and then the other 2 markers I've got to put down over here and here, we'll see the quickest and easier way to get to them. We've got another hour and a half of the stream left, plenty of time. So that's kind of the plan, I think. So if we head to our garage here, and we're going to pull in, I don't know, which one's the first one I come to? The Trailblazer, that'll do. Doesn't matter which one we use. And then we need to pull out 2 pipes from our storage. It's just here. And we go and get the first 2 done. I still think we're going to need to do power once this is done. I don't think we do this and that's it. I think there is going to be power needed as well. Because it's currently, it shows that there's power missing. I don't want to. I'm pressing on buttons, man. I'm trying to secure cargo when I'm trying to get the anchors out. But yeah, I hope that answers your question, LVs. As I say, I don't mind talking about it. It's not an issue in that respect. And as I say, I still have bad times now where I do think, you know, I made the wrong choice essentially in some ways. But you have to, you learn to, you have to learn to kind of put things to one side, if that makes sense. What a lot of people don't know either about me, and this thing I don't really talk about very often, but I have or was diagnosed a while back now with PTSD, and I saw a therapist for it, spent some time working on ways to manage it. Definitely a lot better than I used to be with it, but obviously the accident and that together don't work, and that didn't help at the start either, because if anyone who knows what PTSD does, you know, how your mind works with it, it's hard, and there are things that trigger it, and there's things that, you know, affect it, and the accident really put paid to everything I had in place to help me. The accident got rid of that very quickly. So, you know, we do still have moments, and until I fully accept the severity of the injuries and the long-term prognosis, which it's easy to talk about, but actually doing it is 2 different things. Until I fully accept that, we're still going to have these moments of doubt and stuff. And yeah, personally, I don't think I'm ever really going to accept the true severity. Maybe if we get an answer that says finally yes or no to the operation, maybe then that may be the kick I need. You know, if we have the op and it's done and we get the results, whether they're good or bad, that may be the kick I need to say, right, we understand now this is how bad it is. That may do it. Or if we get a final answer and say no, you can't have it, full stop, and knowing there's nothing else, maybe that's the kick. That will make me realise, okay, this is the severity of the injuries. But until that time comes, I still have a part of me that says we can beat it. Because if the thing I don't want is to get to the point of believing I can't beat it, because for me that's then giving up, and I don't want to give up. That's the thing. Right, we need to replace this pipe. I know that we've got a bit morbid a little bit. Apologies for that. I like to answer a question fully. If I'm going to get asked a question, you know, I like to actually get people to understand what I mean by it. Right, we need to that pipe there. We're not going to get this across there, I don't think. Well, maybe. I don't know how deep it is. We have got a crane nearby, so I wasn't going to bring that across. That's going to be too deep, isn't it? I think that's too deep. Let's have a look. We're going to need to get ready to hit reverse really quickly if this is too deep. Yeah, it's too deep. Okay, how are we going to get across to that then? There must be a bit that isn't deep. I wonder if from that side is better. We could go and grab the big crane that's nearby, which we probably are going to have to. But then we've got to bring it through this bit, because that's the closest point there. I know on previous maps we have built like a wooden bridge just to get to a pipe like that. There is a tree there, so there is a chance. There is some. It's not as deep in places. It's how far the big crane will reach. And obviously we've got to be able to pick up the pipe off the vehicle. I'm thinking, if we get the big crane, because there's a way across there, it's just not an easy drive along here. That's the problem. What about, we can come in this way maybe. Still think a big crane's needed. I don't think our small vehicle will do this. Let's grab our big crane that's over here, that we use to unload the big container. Let's grab this, I think, and we need to head round the other side of that pipe. I think that's the best way to actually get a pipe changed. Yeah, no, I said I did say that. You know, I do understand why they won't let you ask it, but your change of wording was fine. But yeah, the wording you used was absolutely fine. That's why I was a little bit careful what wording I used, to be fair, in answering. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question, LB, as fully as I can. As I say, it's difficult. Right, let's get the crane over the other side. So we'll drive past our vehicle, get over the other side to see our positioning, and then we'll probably drive the actual pipe over round as well. We're going to go that way anyway, essentially. We want to get this set up first, I think. But yeah, I think over the other side is probably a better option here, because how deep the water is in places. You just can't see it, that's the problem. But there is a way around the other side. So I think that's our option for that one. So I've got a feeling these pipes aren't going to be that easy to just do. I think there's going to be obstacles in our way by the looks of things. That's why this map's taking so long, because everything's not simple. But then that's also a good thing. Okay, there is a track further up here. There we go. So past this pipe work here. And there should be a track that leads to the other side of them pipes, so we can then set the crane up. There we go, down here. Now I'm not sure how close we can get, but we'll bring the mule out over here with the pipes. We're not going to try and reach it from where we are. The sun's making it difficult to see where we're going. Yeah, we should have the reach. This should be fine. How deep is it? Okay, that was a mistake. Oh, that got a bit deep. Right, we'll pull the other one out and just see what our reach is like, but I think we should be fine. It's putting the new one in that we just need to make sure we've got enough reach for. No, we haven't. Okay. I can pull the old one out, but we haven't got enough reach. So, I think we need to go a little bit forward and to the right. We know the water really comes up. Right, let's try here. I think that should, no matter what, that should be close enough. Yeah, that's definitely close enough. Bring it across this way. There we go. So we're definitely close enough now to do it. We'll pull the old one out. There we go. Tells you how deep it is. It actually swallows up the whole pipe. Okay, we're going to drive this round to the point where the crane can reach the vehicle so we can get the pipe off. And then that'll be the first one done. Hopefully the other three don't require a big crane too, because obviously That's going to require 2 vehicles every time if that's the case. But we didn't need to build a bridge this time. I think it was the final map of the base game. We built a bridge across a load of water, a wooden bridge, just so we could reach a point of replacing a pipe, because we couldn't find another way to get to it. The water was too deep. Solved the problem though. That's the thing. But yeah, hopefully you heard my answer, LVs. I did just speak about probably the last 45 minutes. I'm amazed no one's asked that before, to be fair. I know it's one of those things, people don't like talking about it, do they, that kind of stuff. I think that's some of the issue. It's one of those subjects that a lot of people won't talk about, or don't want to talk about, because obviously the connotations behind it. People just don't want to hear that, essentially. So I'm a little bit surprised it's not been asked before, but, you know. Right, let's go to the crane. Pick up our brand new pipe. And get this first pipe in place. There we go. And that's 1 of 4 done. And then we've got 1 more pipe to do, and then we're going to quickly go and grab the 2 bits I need picking up. And then we'll also complete a side mission, or a bit of a side mission at least, by going there to pick up these other bits. There we go, pipe is in. So back to the mule. Yeah, the mule, Trailblazer, I should say. Okay, so the next one we have marked. I just want to get rid of this marker if we can. How do I do that? There we go, delete marker. So the next one is here. Seems to be a fairly easy area to get to. We just need to follow this trail, which we're near anyway. It's in a hole, I think. Hopefully we don't need a big crane, but we'll see. So let's get back. We've got to get back to the main road that we were on before coming down this track. Let's try not to drown vehicles all the time. That's the problem. But yeah, hopefully that answered it, LVs. I'll say, if you want to talk about it, I'm more than happy to. So one of the things I always said with the channel as well is, you know, I want to always be open and honest as much as I can be. There's obviously some things you can't talk about for different reasons, but also, I've said it in channel updates, the best thing you can do when you've got any kind of upsetting moment or something you're dealing with is talk about it. It does make a massive difference. And I know men don't like talking about these things, do they? It's one of those, you know, if we talk about it, we're not strong and all this. It's rubbish. Everyone needs to talk, and it does make a massive difference. You know, talking to my other half about how I was feeling made a big difference to her as well as myself. Okay, then this hole here, it's whether or not we can reach it, or do we need a bigger crane, bigger reach? Actually, no. I don't know. I obviously don't want to go down the hole. We need to pick the one up that's down there. I don't know if we can reach. Put the new one in. Actually, I think we're going to be close, aren't we? I think we might be able to. The old one out first. Come on. Thank you. Old one's out. I haven't got anywhere to recycle it at the minute, so we're just going to chuck it somewhere else out of the way. Come on. Trying to go over the other side of the vehicle. There we go. That will do. That will do. Right, let's get this other pipe in. I'm hoping we can reach. It's going to be close. If not, we may just need to adjust. I just don't want to be too close to the hole, fall down the hole. Right, that's our reach fully done. But as we lower this down, we will get a bit extra. Don't think we're close enough, are we? Looking at that. No, we're just not close enough. Okay. I think I need to be that side to it. I think let's drop that down and then let's reposition. I think we need to be the other side, but really close to the edge, which is where the difficulty lies. We don't want to fall in. Obviously a big crane here would be easier, but that big crane is kind of, well, you could probably get the big crane out quickly, but right, we are on a slope. Luckily, these pipes don't weigh a massive amount. I say this as we then fall in. Whoa, okay, it weighs a little bit more than you think. Okay, we should be able to get it from here. Bring it across. There we go. Second pipe done. So 2 done, 2 to go. The only issue with the other 2, I actually deleted all my markers. No, we didn't. The 2 are here. How come this one disappeared? Oh, maybe because we got there ourselves. It took it off, potentially. Right, we need to get out of this position. Because we want to follow this on by going to the next place to pick up the other things. So we don't want to fall in. We're going to avoid it. Can't see through the trees. Okay, we're okay. Right, we're back on the road. So from here, we're heading to here, the sawmill. This will also be a secondary mission just to get here. We're going here to pick up these 2 parts, then bring back, and then we'll assess where we need to go for the other 2. How about going down here? No. Follow the railway track, I think, is a better option, isn't it? To our right. And then we'll assess where the other 2 are and where we need to start off, because we're probably going to need to be a different garage, essentially. But we'll have a look at those once we've got these other 2 bits delivered. We've carried these kind of bits before. 2 at a time is absolutely fine. They're not too heavy, and the crane will be able to get both of them in position, so it should be fine. Thanks for the like, but it was much appreciated. Right, I want to make sure the other mission activates as well. Let's just get into this little area here. There we go. Go to sawmill complete. The XP doesn't matter because we're max level. Not that it ever really mattered other than bits in the shop become available, or vehicles in the shop became available. So that side mission didn't change. I thought that was going to change things, but it hasn't. I thought it would add new missions in, but it hasn't done so. That's all right, Elvis, I don't mind. Thank you for the like, but I was much appreciated. That's twice I've been wrong now. I thought power to the pumping station. It hasn't done that yet. And I thought that mission was going to add new missions to our side mission list. But it didn't do that either. I'm getting a lot of stuff wrong today. Right, the 2 items we need picking up are in these 2 carriages here. What we're going to need to do, I think, is let's use the big crane to get them out and put them in the back of the vehicle. It's a bit easier for the big crane to grab them than us grab them with a mule, because obviously they're higher up in the carriages, so it's just a bit easier to use the big crane. It's here anyway. But yeah, that's one thing I've always said with the channel from the start. You know, we're trying to answer anything we can, honestly. And as I say, I think talking about it does help. And that's from someone who notoriously wouldn't talk. That's the thing. It does make a big difference. Okay, and we'll need to spin this round. These need to go in sideways. to get them both in together, I think. So let's spin it round. So the actual view from the camera isn't the best here, to be fair. Right, that's fine as it is. One is in. So bring this way, and this across. There we go. I don't want to pick it up that high up because it does limit how much you can lift it. There we go. Back that way and that way. So again, we'll spin this round but the opposite way where the other one is to balance it out. There we go. How are we looking space wise? Oh. I could do it a little bit more left. So the bottom end of it is in the... There we go. I didn't really want it to fall over, that's okay. Right, they are both in. Will they strap is the question. Yes. We'll still need to be a little bit careful round corners because obviously they're not in perfectly. But they are in. So just be careful speed-wise. Right, well, so we're going to head back now to the pumping station. We'll deliver these two and then we'll have a look at these final two pipes and see our best way of doing those. What way are we going? Not this way. We're going to go back across there to our right. Otherwise, I was heading for a tunnel. But yeah, I'm amazed that mission for getting to the swimmel didn't do anything. Considering the actual blurb of it said about delivering more stuff, pile key, but it didn't actually do anything. It may be something else needs to happen first, and then it will come up. Maybe there's always that possibility. Right, we need to follow this until we get to this track here, and then we'll turn off there. So we're heading back to the pumping station. These two need to go in two different places there. And we can assess the final two pipes. And then, yeah, I've got a feeling that might be, once the pipes are done, I still think we need power to the pumping station because it still shows there's no power. Yeah, follow this road through the water. We're golden. I think there'll be the power. This mission will then move on to power. Once that's done, I've got a feeling that potentially, and I've been wrong twice so far today, that may be the end of the first of the part of the map mission. There's three parts to this map mission, but I think this will be the first part done, unless something else then occurs. But we shall see. We've obviously do all the three side missions still to go as well. But we'll get to those in due course. It still doesn't feel like I've achieved a lot today. We've done one side mission and we've done the main mission that then moves on to a second part. Is what we're doing now. But we did start with that 40% complete on contamination. So I'm curious to what percentage we'll be doing done. I think we gained 1% on Monday. But a lot of that was infrastructure stuff we needed to do to be able to get places like the bridges and stuff that I finished off today. Okay, so the first of these is going just to the right over here. I don't know if they need to be... Each one has to be in a specific place, or we can just put whichever one we want. We'll find out in a second. Do I need a bigger crane, or can we reach? Is my only thinking. I think we can reach. It may be close. No, I think we should. How close can I get? There we go. We can get there. Right, is there a specific one for this first bit? So that's front. Okay, the one on the front is the one that's going there, I think. And on the back... Oh, wow, that's going some... Oh, I didn't realise that. I should have looked. We're going to have to drive that a long way. I thought it was both going to the pumping station. But that's not the case. The other one's going here. Right, okay, that changes things a little bit. I didn't realise that. I thought they were both going to roughly the same place, and all we need to do is get them to the pumping station. Right, we're going to have to work things out because it means we've already got the second one. Although it needed picking up no matter what from where it was. So we can't change that. It needed picking up. I can't reach, can I? No, I can't reach from here. I thought I could. But I can't. Right, what I'm thinking then, if you go there, we can fold the crane, anchors, strap down. We've got a big crane nearby. We may as well just, instead of messing around trying to get this in the right position, what we'll do is just move this over here for a second. Jump in our big crane. Look, potentially could just drive it this way to here and do it there. Rather than trying to bring it round as well, I think we'll do that. Well, it's all going to depend on the water and how deep it is, to be fair. But I think we can. As long as the water doesn't be silly and we stick to where we can see bits of grass, I think we're okay. But this will definitely reach from this side. And then we can get that done. In fact, we head to over here, there's grass over here. So we should be out of the water enough. I do find these big cranes are quite versatile. Even with the terrain as well. The only bit that potentially could drown us is here, I think. But even then, I don't think it's that bad. No, easy peasy. Right, we'll get the crane over. We'll get this one in position, and we need to work out how we're getting to where the other one needs to go, alongside where the other two, pipes need doing. That's the word I was after. Okay, let's get this one in position. I need to pick up from the top really, don't I, actually? So change connection point. Does that only pick it up from one bit? I want the top end. Won't only pick it up from any other way. Oh, that's annoying. Okay. I was hoping to pick it up from just the top and dangle it essentially, but it won't allow us to. I'm assuming it will snap in position then. I'm actually not any, it may not be close enough. Oh, we are. There we go. So we can't put it in position properly ourselves. So that is that one done. Right. The second one is then going elsewhere, which is over here, which is actually an area we've not been to. There's also a pipe to go here as well. And the second pipe's all over here. It's what we've got nearby that we can utilise. So we can pick up that pipe that's down south. We can pick up tunnel exit base and come down here and do that one. This one though, there's a base here to actually go and do that one. But the bit we've already got on board, we've got to get to here, which is the issue. Obviously we've not been there, so we don't know how bad the terrain is going to be, and we can't just fast travel. So this needs driving then from where we are over here to the port. There's a railway bridge there potentially we could use, or we go round. Oh yeah, that's the hole we took the bridge out to use elsewhere. So we may have to get round that. Yeah, we're not going to use the railway bridge too far, because we may fall off. And then from here we need to see how we get across to here. There is a roadway that leads over this way, to be fair, and then down here. And it's whether or not we can get close enough with the mule or not. But that's kind of where we've got to go, I think. There's no point taking the extra pipe with us when we've got bases near the other two, or garages, I should say. So let's jump into the mule. Don't give me the objective. I want to get in the truck. There we go. So we need to head to the port first and foremost, and then from there we go round to get this one delivered. And then we'll look at the last 2 pipes. Probably 2 different garages, 2 different vehicles. Probably our best bet for the pipes as well, looks of things. I think by now we'd have been all over the map, but there's still areas we've not been to. The metal beam facility, again, that isn't even unlocked yet. It needs to be up and running, but the main story hasn't told us to do it. Not that we have to wait for that, but I think that will be a push towards that shortly, I would say. I still miss Kelly though. Having the bits explained when she talks about the mission and what they want, it may not be word for word what the blurb says, but I think it adds a lot more atmosphere to what you're doing. Without that, it's just silence. And, you know, there are times she throws a quick joke in here and there. But I definitely think they missed the trick with taking Kelly out of the DLC. Unless she's back for the second map, but I don't think she will be. Because if she's not in this one, why would they put her back in for the second one? May have taken that a little bit too quickly. We're okay. But yeah, I just think they missed the trick, I think, there. But yeah, after today's stream, I'll have a look and see what. Have a look what if there is anything else coming out for this DLC and stuff. Hoping there is. But I'll try and have a look this afternoon just to see. So we kind of know our plan going forward. Why do I feel I've gone the wrong way? I haven't gone the wrong way. I'm doubting it. Thought I'd gone the wrong way for a minute, but no. It's because we're heading to the ports. So it looks like we're fixing the pipeline across the whole of the map in one go, as they all seem to be connected, so that helps, rather than different runs elsewhere. Now, to get through past the port, we're going to have that issue with the hole in the ground. We used to have a bridge there, we want the bridge vehicles, but actually we found it was better to be used for convoy, so we moved it. Which means we may need to try and find a different way around it. There is a way to the left, but I think it's underwater. I vaguely remember that's why we couldn't use it originally. We'll see in a minute. Okay, so there is obviously the railway bridge there. I think it's passable. It's just when you get to this bit, it could be dodgy. I don't think we need to use it though. We can get down here and across here. It's this bit that we've got to watch out for because you can go this way. But we didn't want to do that previously because it wasn't brilliant. But with the mule trailblaze, I think we should be alright. See how we go. There is also woods we can probably sneak through rather than having to go round the other way. This is all drained. This is because we've done other things on the map which has drained this down. There used to be a lot more water here, but we've completed other parts of the map that have actually drained that, which is helpful. Right, the big hole I think is coming up in a second. So, yeah. And we need to get to the other side of it. We know there's a track further north. I think going now this is drained a bit because this was more water here previously. Now it's drained. I think it's passable. Don't get me. There's rocks in the way that stop us going right. But yeah, this was a lot less passable previously. And because of other missions we've done, it's drained it down. That I think will help us massively here. Yeah, definitely better than it first looked. That's an actual tree that we can use there. I'm not picking up. I'm not going near a garage. There's no point in picking up now. That's actually a log you can use for what you need to use the log for. Right, I'm hoping we can get up to the right somewhere around here. Potentially, maybe have to go through the trees. Make our own road. What we're doing this is being able to see where you're going. There we go. The roots of the tree coming out of the ground as we hit it. Okay, let's just stop there a sec. So from here, we want to be going left, and we're heading for here. By the looks of things. So head left and round. There we go. This is why I'm glad damage wasn't in the game originally. Because we would have been smashing their vehicles to bits by now. That's the actual, that route there is the infrastructure route that I think is still ongoing and still giving us money every time we complete. There can't be much left though. Let's have a quick look. There is 1,950 credits left with 250 per truck. So that's just under, well, it's 8 trucks essentially, 8 more runs, and then that's fully complete. Right, over here there should be a right hand turn for a small track, which is going to take us to where we need to go, I think. Yeah, we just need to bend it round. So follow this round to here, round the side, and then we should see a right hand turn come up. This is where the Mule, the Voron and the Trailblazer do really well in these conditions. Okay, this is our right hand turn. A little bit dodgy. Look at that vehicle there. Can I sneak past it? Jania, good morning, how are you? Thanks for the like, it was much appreciated. I should be able to get past that. If we push it more in and push it more in, we don't, it's not one of ours. Come on, in you go. There we go. I knew we could squeeze past it. Okay, this route is looking worse and worse the further we go into it. Again, it's where the map deceives you a little bit. The map didn't look this bad at all. So there we go. Right, where does this need to go and can we reach it? Ah, okay. I don't know if we can reach that with this crane. We may need to get a bigger crane here, like we did last time. It's so difficult to reach some of these. There is a ledge there. I don't know if we can get to it. Is it? Oh, it's morning for me. Yeah, it's 11:15 for me. 4:45 in the evening for you. It's so, we have so many different people from different time zones. It still amazes me the differences. Okay, we either need to bring a big crane here, or we need to see if we can get across the rocks. Is that doable, or do I just get another crane? It looks doable, but if it goes wrong, we're going to go down the hill, essentially. But it does look doable. It'll save us getting a bigger crane here, but if it goes badly wrong, I think a bigger crane could still rescue us. Potentially. Where would we get a bigger crane from? What's the nearest point? Roadside base is over here. And to get to us, follow the railway track. Essentially, there's a road that way. Right, let's not risk it. There's no point. We might as well just get a big crane out of the nearby base. I don't think it's worth the risk. We don't need to. And a big crane can do the job quickly and easily for us. So let's get this unstrapped. Jump to our garage over here, the roadside base. We just need one of our big cranes out there. The one that we've been using at the other place, because most of our cranes are out, I think, in different places. I don't like moving cranes when they're out somewhere, just in case there's somewhere useful. That's going to be really slow, isn't it? I don't want something slow either. We know where this is. This is the one we just used to put the other one on. So we might as well jump into this one. Even the rusty version of this is out and about. So from here, if we come out of this roadside base, follow this track here. Try to see where we need to go here. We're heading there. There is a track here. Where does that meet? That's our power vehicle. Okay. And that's where the other pipe needs delivering to as well. Nice. That's not too far away. think we follow the railway line to a degree. Although this looks like it's not difficult to get to, I think it's going to be awkward. Just for a vehicle of this size on that track, I think could be potentially awkward. Let's see how we go. This is the road we built. That takes us to the concrete factory, or facility I should call it. I didn't realise this was where the other pipe was we need to replace. That makes life a little bit easier. We can actually have a look now and see if a small crane will do it, or we'll need this there. Essentially, this depends how close we can get. I think a small crane can do it. Looking at the hole and that, a small crane should be fine. Okay, for me, we need to get this onto this track here. I think we try and get to the other side of the train that's here, and then head up from there. Or actually, no, there's a water track here that goes up. Let's go that way. I don't think them rocks there are going to cause us an issue if we're not careful. Yeah, I still get confused by all the different time zones. When someone says, you know, the early hours of the morning, it's like, wow. And that's why I find it easier just to say good morning when it's morning for me. I never remember where everyone's time zone is. Okay, we want to head left up here, and then immediate right, and that should be the track we need to be on. These big cranes are good. They do manage a lot of these bits really well. Okay, just need to follow this straight ahead, and then we should be able to get that bit done. And there's 2 pipes to go for this main mission, and then we'll see what's next. I've got a feeling though, next is power, because the pumping station itself doesn't have power currently, so I think that's what it will be next. We've got an infrastructure mission that wants us to build a road somewhere as well. We haven't looked at that yet. There's no main mission for it, but I think it'll be needed for one of the missions along the way, I'm sure. Right, squeeze past the vehicle that's in the water. Okay, not our vehicle, so it doesn't matter what we do to it. There we go. See our truck ahead of us. We are there. Perfect. So let's get this bit in position, and then 2 pipes to fix, and we'll see what's next. Now, I think I can reach. I'm not worried about that. It's what's in the way. I think we should be fine. Let's see. We'll know more once we start trying to get it in position. There we go. Okay. I think we've got the reach. I think we have. Yeah. I don't know why I'm doubting it. I think we've got plenty of reach. Saying that, have we? I don't know if we have. I may need to get closer. I think we're slightly too far away. Trying to get over the things below us. Are we too far away? Yeah. Not by much either, annoyingly. No, actually, as we go down, we might be alright here. We need to get it over that way. Then bring it this way. Up slightly. Can't get it up anymore, that's as high as the rope goes with it. Swing it round. It's basically there. Can't lift it. It's there. And normally I'd try and get as close as possible myself, but unless we move everything, it's done. Okay, so what we need to do, we know we need to replace the pipe along this section here. Has my marker gone? It has, hasn't it? I keep moving the map around, so I keep losing my bearings. But yeah, I think my marker's disappeared. The pipe we need to fix was... I don't know where it was now. Oh, no, it's still there. There we go. It's there. So, what we'll do is we'll pull back the Trailblazer to this garage. The Trailblazer is the one that's near the big crane now. It's because we know where that is. So we know it's not, doesn't need to stay there for anything else. And then we'll pull out the pipe we need from our storage. And then we'll go and do that one, and then we'll have a look at where we need to go for the second one. The second one's in a completely different place. So we can't, there's no point in taking it now. Because we don't quite know how we're going to do it yet. Right, let's get this pipe up and loaded. Definitely want to get this mission, or at least this part of the story at least, hopefully done today. If I'm right in my thinking that this is the end of the first part of the story. I didn't think I needed them on, but wow, that was heavier than I expected. I didn't think pipes were that heavy. Although saying that is a big metal pipe. Should have known. Oh, I'm in storage, that's why. I'm trying to do things, but it keeps putting me in storage. There we go. Right, it wouldn't let me strap cargo for some reason, but it has now. Right, let's change the camera. Let's work out exactly where we're going. So, from here, we need to come out here and follow this railway line there. So left out of here, because we're currently, well, left out of here onto here. Railway line to our left. And then we'll see the actual pipe that is replacing along that line as we go anyway. And that'll be the third of 4 done. I think the last one's in place we've not been to yet, so that's going to be tricky. I think this was a little bit dodgy in terms of where we've got to position ourselves, mud-wise. I think we should get close enough. We don't need the bigger crane. Yeah, it's there. We can get to that easily enough. Okay, we're going to pull the one that's in there out first. I've only got one connection point. There we go. This is what could potentially tip us over, is when you try and pull the old one out, to be fair. There we go, Sal. They actually came out really easily. A lot of the time they don't come out that easily. We were saying we were missing lots of concrete to recycle for the concrete plant. There actually is some here. Annoyingly, it's not that close. Well, it's, I suppose, a little bit close to the concrete plant. Although it could be closer. Like, but already there. Okay. Get this in position. That pipe is done. Okay, let's have a look at this final pipe needed for the main mission. So the final pipe, we did put a marker down, although I keep, like I say, moving the map around. I can't see my marker anywhere. My marker's disappeared, I think. Because I can't see it. Well, I've been silly, where's the mark actually gone? It's one we fixed there. I think it was up here somewhere. From what I can remember, my marker has disappeared, I think. It's not showing up on the map itself, I don't think. There it is, it's here. That was one we need to go to. Yeah. Normally the marker, if it's off the screen would show the marker arrow, but it's not, so for some reason my marker's disappeared. Let's just double check that is the only one, because that potentially could be something else. I think it is this mission. It won't tell us where they are though, I don't think. No. So we have to figure it out, but I think that one definitely needs replacing. It's red. Let's just follow this round and see if there's any more. I've got a feeling there isn't. When we checked this minute ago, originally put markers down, I'm pretty sure there wasn't any more. And that's just in a really awkward place. No, nothing else there, is there? Back to that. There's none on this side either to the concrete plant. So, what's the nearest place to that? And how do we get to it and solve it? So, let's have a look. We have the tunnel exit bay here. Base. Bay. Which we can come down the road here. There's no bridge there, which could potentially be a problem. Or we have to go we might have to go the long way around there actually. There's no bridge there, so, and we haven't put one there because we've not really used this route, to be honest. So we need to put a bridge here. Although didn't we use the railway bridge last time? Because that, I think, is that some of these railway bridges are too high. This one's in place, so actually we can, because we got to here last time to do something here. Pretty sure we have to get to there. So I think it's just how dodgy this water's going to be. What we go tunnel exit base, come down the road, we get to the railway line here, head across, and from there we figure out next steps. I think that's our best bet. And because we know where the Trailblazer is, that's the one that's the best one to use at the minute, just because it means we're not taking something away from elsewhere that could be useful where it is. Right, we need to pick up a pipe up here as well. This is a base we unlocked a while back and barely used, because most of the missions are too far away for this to be used, really. Right, one steel pipe. That leaves us one left after this. Okay, it does finally feel like we're making progress, but I just want to get that first part of the 3 parts of the story of the map done, and then at least then it will feel a lot more like we have made decent progress. Camera changed. No, wrong one. Anchors. Right, off we go. So we're heading for the train line, and from there we'll figure it out. Again, we're hoping we don't need a bigger crane than this crane can reach, but we won't really know until we're there. But fingers crossed it can reach. But because we've not been there, it's still all grayed over, misted over. Fog of war? Something like that. It's still we can't really see what we're dealing with. And it's only because the story hasn't sent us there for anything, is why it's like the way it is. Okay. So aren't they, that little bridge there that we filled in the hole with, they are concrete slabs that we can take out and use if we really need to. Although we know the concrete facility is open now. It's just the lack of concrete to recycle is the problem, really. Keep following this round, and we should come to the railway bridge. Are we going the right way? I think we are. No, I've gone the wrong way. Have I? Hang on. I've gone the complete wrong way, haven't I? No, or have I? No, I have. We need to turn right. I didn't realise where we were. The map was changed position again. I don't know if it's always me that changes the position of the map. It seems to rotate round. We need to take a right here. We haven't gone the wrong way any other time, it was just that turn there. So up here on the left should be the railway bridge. But we should better go over. I'm adamant we've been over there before, from this way. We'll see. Yeah, we can. We can get through there. A lot of the other railway bridges we've seen, we can't actually pass because they're in the air. They're not actually down on the floor like this one is. so I haven't been able to use any of the others really. I don't know how you might have to put them down with a crane maybe. I've not really seen how they work yet. Okay. Across these slabs here and up. And then this is where we're kind of in the dark and we've got to figure this out as we go. We don't quite know what we're dealing with. The last thing we want here is to turn over, because that would be annoying. Okay, we can see our pipe in the distance. How we get to that, I don't know. That is really high up. Okay. Is that... Can we pass along next to that? I don't know if we can. We definitely can't do it from the ground. It's whether we can drive alongside that pipeline. Is there enough room? The map itself can always be a little bit hesitant in what it shows you. Hesitant's the wrong word. Deceiving. It looks like we can't... Oh, it's going to get close here though. In fact, there is a bridge there as well. Looking at that. Oh wow, this is going to be tight. We roll this, or we are going to have to bring another vehicle here. I don't even know if a big crane would reach up here, to be fair. You can see there's a bit of metal here, which I think is meant to help balance you. This is dodgy. I don't know if I fully trust my own driving. Oh, we made it. I did not think we was going to make that. In all honesty, I thought we was going to roll down the hill and I'll be sat there going, really? It's so close. But we made it. That's fine. I'm amazed we made it, to be fair. Right, let's get rid of the old pipe then. I'm glad that worked. Old pipe can go anywhere else. It doesn't need to be here. There we go. Our pipe. Rocks in the way. I can't get a camera in a good position. I do. Can't even see my own crane because the rock is too close to it. That is mission complete. Wow, well, that didn't swap. I thought that was going to give us a... Oh, there we go. Hang on. Goal complete. Time bomb. This is where we miss Kelly. Because this should all be talked about. Time bomb is complete. New main objective, the Great Purge. Okay. New missions. Repair resources, railway repairs. We'll have a look at it in a second. Get water samples. Establish a sustainable energy supply. Anything else? Was that it? I think that's it. Right, let's have a look. So we've done the first part of the 3 parts. The green line at the top there, that tells you what stage of the main story of the map we're at. We've now finished the first part. Now moved on to Great Purge. Pollution is an unpredictable enemy. We'll give it a fight. Okay. We've got to prepare resources, railway repairs. Recent seismic activity has damaged several sections of local railroad. A critical artery for the region. Restoring it will be invaluable for our current operation. 2 segments require immediate repairs. We need resources of track production of over the steel mill. 1 section is also cluttered with rocks that need to be removed. So clear the area, which is this bit here. Then we need to get 6 logs and deliver them to the steel beam facility. And then we need 8 steel beams to the steel beam facility as well. Well, we can make them there, so that's a bonus. And I think that is working. We just need to get there. So that seems okay. Obviously, this is the cluttered bits. I'm guessing crane. We've got actually a small crane here. It's not the biggest crane in the world, but actually it could prove useful. We can get out of the water there. It was there to help us get the mule back on its feet earlier on. We can drive them out and just head up here. Should be able to clear the rocks from there, surely. That wouldn't be too bad. Water samples, let's have a look at this. To devise a purification plan for the region's water, we need samples from multiple locations. Of course you do. A specialised research scout has been approved for your use. Drive it to designated spots, collect samples, and return the vehicle to the water treatment plant. The coordinates have been sent over and out. Really? Okay. So, there's given us a new scout vehicle to drive that's been set up to take samples. Well, samples. The first one is over here, which is there. Second one over there. Third one. And fourth one. Okay, there's going to be a bit of driving involved there, isn't there? And then the other new mission, establish a sustainable energy supply. Power outages are plaguing most of the region's infrastructure. To restore electricity to the water treatment plant, the main facility, we need to fix the power grid in the southern area. Connect the sawmill station transformer box to the nearest working power line and lay the cable along the remaining broken sections, including connections to the pumping station. This is what I was saying, what I thought we'd have to do as part of the main mission previously, but it's actually in the second part of the three-part story. So there's a power line there we need to do. Power substation there, we should be able to connect to there. I think, obviously, we then need to connect to there, and then we connect to here, which is the pumping station. I think that mission may move as we go along. So once we get to there, it will then say there, and then there. And it makes sense if we're doing that one, we may as well keep going. We just need to watch out for the rocks that are there. But yeah, that seems easy enough. So that's the three main objectives we need to do as part of the Great Purge, which is the new part of the story. We have still got side missions to do. So I do want to have a look at these. We try and do one main, one side. And that was a main mission. We've got about 20 minutes left. Let's see. So this is, we need to go and pick up an item called Stash and deliver it back to the Hermit. We've not been there before. I think that's probably the best thing for us to do first, because we don't even know how to get there. Thinking about it. Okay. It's going to be on an island of stuff, isn't it? I think. We haven't really been over this way, because we took a while before we get to here, so we do need to go there though. Hermit's construction areas, there's two of these to clear. We have got a crane there. There's one there and one here. I wonder if it's worth looking at that now, because then we can open up this a little bit more and see what's here. And then the other side mission is reinforce the riverbank near Warn May. We need to deliver 15 logs. But to do that, we might as well take over our log cutter and cut down trees. I think that's the easiest way, to be fair. So I think we'll do the construction zones, as we already have a crane next to one. Not in the best position, admittedly, but it's there. Why is that on its side? What is going on with that? Okay, it needs to take the pipe. Oh, it's trying to get the pipe out of there. We must have tried this previously and it not worked very well. Seems a weird position to have a crane in. It really does. What is going on with this pipe? Crane's back on its feet. Is that pipe just not coming out? Normally they can be a bit stiff sometimes to pull out, but it moved. Oh, that's why that's tipping. Because that's pulling us down. Why is that so tight? When we connected to it, it actually moved, but that seems really tight. I don't know why. Let's lower the crane. Let's try and get it from the side. That tree might be in the way, to be fair. Really not happy with that. Well, our crane isn't happy either. That crane is not in a good place. Can't. Oh, there we go. Don't do it. We've got a little bit of movement there. I think I'm about to lose the crane, aren't I? The engines are stalled. The engine's stalled. Right, there we go. Back again. We definitely got to move from where it is. But that is really awkward to get out. It just doesn't want to move. We've got a slight movement and then it just stops. Don't do that. Alright, okay. Whoa. Let's restore crane. Let's see if we can get off this bit we're stuck on. Don't do that. I've messed up. I don't think I can save it. I know we can. I need to get it back, move the crane out to tip us before the engine cut out. Not let me do it. The engine stalls, we lose the vehicle, we've got to re-go. No, engine stalled. Vehicle's done. Okay, well, that really didn't work the way we wanted it to. I don't know why it was balanced, to be honest. So there we go. Normally we use a smaller vehicle to do those. That may be a better option here, to be fair. We've got a big crane here, though. Just across the road from the water treatment plant. Let's get rid of this crane. Let's pull that back to a garage, and then we'll use the one that's nearby. I don't quite know why we left that like that. We must have done that previously. But I don't know why we left it balancing. That's the silly things I've done. I don't know why I did it. Okay, we're jumping the crane that's over here, which is by the bridge. We'll take this one. Normally we'd do this with small cranes, but this is the closest thing we have. And it doesn't seem that bad. I don't quite understand why that's not budging anywhere. It could just be our positioning, though, to be fair. I still feel there's going to be more than one part to this mission as well. It seems a little bit too simple just to do what it says. I think there'll be more to it. Alright, let's get this turned and go across the bridge. Right. So we head across the water treatment plant, and then we're going to head through on a smaller track, I think, to get to them two zones. Hopefully we can get that pipe to move. It does seem, it's just tight, I think. It looks like we've already taken one out there. It's been a while since we looked at this mission. Hence why I don't quite remember the crane being left the way it has. But it does look like there's a pipe already been removed. And that's what we need to do to clear the area. Does mean I think we're going to need to make some pipes at some point to replace the one we removed. But we've already removed one, so I don't quite see why they would bring up such a fight. But nevertheless, we should be okay. I don't understand why we're on the beach. We should have just been on the banking. At some point I've done that. I just don't remember when or why. And we may be overkill using the big crane, to be fair, but since it's so stiff, I do think the bigger crane may be the better option. If I could drive it. On the road itself. I think we had a previous mission somewhere around there. I don't know, to be fair. It's annoying when I know I must have done it, because no one else has done it. But I don't know why I did it. Okay, let's have a look at where we're going for a start. So, first one's up here. I think we do this one first, since it's probably the closer one. There's a track here. Follow it round. There's the construction zone. And then from there, there's another track this way. That gets to that one. So let's do that. Yeah, straight ahead. Next left turn at the track. But I've got a feeling this will turn into replace the pipes. Which will mean we need to make some. So let's see what we need to do here first. It may not even be pipe. It may be something else, I don't know. Right, so on our right hand side, it should open up in a second. Not the best place to be driving a big old crane, is it? Okay, what have we got? I'll stop that. There's one pipe there that we can see. There may be more, but that's the only thing I can see at the minute. So let's just stay where we are and see if we get this first one done. That's the only one showing up as needs removing. There you go. So that came out easy compared to the other one. That came out easy. Yeah, that's the first bit done. I'm now questioning why the other one was so tricky, since that was out straight away. It could be an angle issue, and maybe we needed to be at a better angle to it. So we now need to head across here. There is a bit of water here to watch out for. Yeah, it possibly could be was at the wrong angle, hence why it's getting stuck. So from here, which way do we go? We can drive over this bit. But now we know there's a track here that leads to here. This is where we need to get the stash for the hermit. So there is a track there to go and use if we needed to. So we either go right and come down over here, or we come back on ourselves and down here. But we need to get over here essentially. I think we can just head left. Although saying that, it actually looks worse than what it shows on the map as always. So I think let's reverse back and get back to where the track separates. And we'll head left. Yeah, the map kind of said that bit where the pipe was going seemed fine to drive on, and then you see it, you know, that's just the hole. So through the trees we should reach some concrete and water, which is just here. This water must be deep as there's slabs in it. Okay, so the area we're looking to is to our left. Oh, okay. Did not want to go on top of that concrete slab that's there. Don't tip. Don't do it. Doesn't want to go on that slab, that's weird. Thought we were just going to drive straight up there, but it really didn't like the angle. It's not low enough on the floor. I think crane's fine now. No, crane wasn't. I think the slab isn't low enough, so it's a bit of a jump when you try and drive on it. I think there's the issue there. Right. Didn't really want to drive along here, but almost even surface. So that's the bit we need to take out ahead of us there. So let's get everything out and about. Can we move this out here now from this angle? Previously, it didn't want to move. It doesn't want to move now either. Try and go to the side. It really doesn't want to move. It's lifting us up like anything. Whereas the previous one came out really quickly and easily. But this is actually lifting us up. What is going on? It's like it's stuck. I'm trying to go to the side, but the crane doesn't like it. Going up, the crane really doesn't like. Yeah, I can't. Oh, there we go. It's up. Finally. Right. Don't know what was going on with that, but it really didn't want to come out. Knocking the trees down to create more room. Right, that is that mission complete. We've done what the hermit asked. And no new mission showed up. I guarantee we'll have to do something in due course. I think it's too obvious that we won't have to do something there. So, that is a side mission done. So we'll go back to our main mission. We'll do the stash probably next for the side mission. Railway repairs then. So we need to clear the objects from there, which we've got a crane here to do. Then we need to cut some logs down and deliver them. And make some steel beams. So the first part, I think we can drive this crane out. Hopefully. Oh, wasn't this... This got stuck, didn't it, trying to get the mule out? I believe. Yeah, we have got a scout vehicle nearby. So we can try towing this. So we'll try and tow it out if we can. It was here to try and get the mule back working again. previously after he fell over slabs. We can reach it and then put towing on, so it's under its own steam as well. That's not what I want to do. Towing on. Have we got anything to get this moving? Just saves us bringing another one over here, that's the thing. If we get this moving out, which I think it is a little bit. Come on. That's well and truly stuck, but it is moving ever so slightly. Come on. A little bit more. I just nosedived massively. Okay, let's swap vehicle and just see what we're looking at. Okay, that hill's too high to try and get up there that way. But if we're now free and clear, the water is quite deep. The issue is we've got to make sure that engine doesn't flood. Just need to get to this bit over here so we can get up. There we go. We're not a massive fan of these cranes. They definitely don't work as well as other cranes we have in our garage, but it was the easiest, quickest thing to get where we wanted to get to. And for what we're about to do, I can't see it being that problematic considering it can lift a rock, hopefully. So this is the area to our left. We're going to clear the railway line of any debris, which I'm guessing is going to be rocks. We shall see. Right, we're on the railway line now. There's rocks ahead of us, and it looks like that's it. This can definitely do that job then. Obviously our reach in this is very small, and one of the reasons we don't use it very often. But yeah, the crane reach is tiny compared to other things, and it weight wise it's not brilliant. For moving these, it should be okay. It's mainly to keep moving forward rather than staying in one place. It's the only downside. But let's clear the railway track with stones. Only one part done. Oh, that track moved. I think we have to clear. That whole track section just moved as we cleared the rock off. We've had to replace railway track before. I think the final base game map had it. Now the downside of that, it was massive. Why have we done it here? I can't remember which map it was. But it railway track previously. Hang on. I don't know if I'm meant to pick that track up or not. I think we are. I think that old bit of track's going to be moved as well. But it is normally really long, the sections we deliver. And tricky to actually manoeuvre anywhere. We'll do this rock and then we'll move forward. The downside to obviously moving forward is where do we put the rocks that are outside the zone. Because our reach is going to be compromised. Don't roll, thank you. But yeah, that track actually wants to be picked up, weirdly. Okay, I don't want to move forward too much because I want to still be able to check them out. That should be okay. Big rock here. I think then we can drive through, and then that way we can still chuck the rock somewhere. The reach of this is not brilliant, that's the thing. But if we put it on the other ones, hopefully it won't roll. Don't know. No, it stayed. Lucky. Yeah, so that track does want moving as well. Is listed, it is showing up as one of the things to move. Let's grab that in a minute. It doesn't have the greatest height this either, that's the thing. Oh, vehicle found a route. That's the first time. So that's an ongoing infrastructure route that he's just given us money every time. Have a look at that in a second. That's been happily continuing all day. Getting the last rewards we need from it. Where's that doing what I want to do? Just want to sit on that. Determined to be silly. Although it's not showing up as needing picking up. Right, let's have a quick look at the infrastructure route. I don't quite understand. 1,200 credits left to do. It failed up a concrete hill. We're just going to load dispatch again. It shouldn't be a problem. Okay, we're running out of space there to put them without it causing issues, so let's drive forward. Let's see what space we've on the other side. As I say, this reach on this is poor, so I just need somewhere they've got a bit of reach. There we go, so that side there should be fine when we get past. These rocks aren't very good, are they? Why is it not letting me pick anything up? There we go. It wasn't going to let me pick up the rock for some reason. Stop that. Okay, that's out of the zone. So 4 more things here at least to pick up. And then potentially this bit's done. Don't roll back in. It's not saying us we need to redo it, so. Okay, our anchor is in the way there. There we go. Anchor back down until we fall over. Between us and the rock, I think that's the issue there. Lift it up. There we go. See how bad our reach is. That may need to be moved again yet. I'm not sure. There's a second bit of track there needs moving. Yeah, we're going to have to bring a big bit of track here at some point, which is going to be tricky to get here, I think. Because the only vehicle I think it fits in... Oh no, we've got actually the big heavy transporter I think it fits on. Just about. May even be the Wayfarer that fits better, but the Wayfarer is never going to make it here, I don't think, because it's rubbish. Alright, final rock, and then we see if we're done. Or if there's something we've not seen yet that needs moving. No, that's done. So that's the first part of that mission line done. We've cleared the area of objects. What we'll do is anchors, crane, handbrake. Just going to move this off the track because obviously we're going to have to come here in the future. I don't want this to be in the way. I've got no control of that camera at this point. There we go. I don't want to move this too far in case we do need it. I know it's not the most useful piece of kit, but it's here. But just in case we need it in the future. I'm going to leave it nearby. You can see the reason we very rarely use one of these. Okay, let's have a look where these logs need to go. Because obviously if we can cut them down and deliver them in one swoop, that would be ideal, but I've got a feeling we won't be able to. So we need to bring logs to here. Now, we don't know how to get there really yet. We haven't really opened that up, so I think we need to open up first. There is a small wooden bridge over here that can be utilised, but it looks dodgy as anything. I think we had a mission here to get this up and running, but that was it. It didn't really go anywhere. Now, there is, I believe, a bridge here that we can spin round, I think. Am I looking at this the wrong way? No, it's this one here. So we need a crane, a spring to push that one, pull that one round, whichever way you want to look at it. And I think that leads there. That's our main road. There is a crane there for metal recycling. Because we need beams to be delivered here. already at the plant. Bit weird with delivering beams to the plant itself, but that's what we need to do. But we need to make them first. Recycling bits there. It's weird. That's why we've got to deliver them. Anyway, I think, first of all, infrastructure route's fine. We spin this bridge around. What have we got? Oh, we're out of time. I didn't realise we was out of time. I thought we had like 10 minutes left. Okay, so we are out of time for today. Well, that sped through. What we'll do tomorrow morning, first thing, is we'll bring a crane across, spin this bridge round, and then we'll head across here. Try and see what we've got here in terms of trees, because if we can cut them down here and take them straight there, perfect. If not, we'll have to cut them down elsewhere and then take them across. But that seems to be the first protocol. That's the sample mission, isn't it? Yeah, over there as well. It's more just seeing what access we have, I think, more than anything else. Is there any other bridges that we need to open up to get there? I don't think there is. I think there's an old bridge used to be there. It's collapsed. So potentially we can build a bridge here at Warn May if we wanted to. We still need to do a mission where we bring wood here as well, to be fair. There can be a bridge somewhere to over here, which I think will be connecting to that as well. But first thing tomorrow morning, crane, swing the bridge round, and then open this up a lot more and see what we're dealing with. I think that is the first port of call, because I don't really want to use that if we don't have to. We can also get some concrete and make a proper bridge here, so we have access from there as well. That's something we may need to look at, just for more access. As I say, unfortunately, we're out of time. Don't know where it's disappeared today. Time has flown. We started at 40%. I don't know what percentage we're now going to be at. I'm hoping more than 40. We have finished the start of the first of the 3-part story to the map. First part is done. We're now moving on to the Purge, which is what the next bit is called. 49%. There we go. That's a bit better. 9% gained. 11 of 23 infrastructure requests completed. 15 of 39 missions. And 15 of 22 side missions complete. The map is definitely looking a lot more open. Obviously, we've got the bit around the beam facility and he's opening up. But other than that, we are nearly there. And nearly 50%. 1% off. And that is it. We're out of time. As I've put into the pinned comments, tomorrow morning we're doing another stream of RoadCraft. We were going to start Ghost of Utah to finish in Mafia, which is what's scheduled for tomorrow. We finished that yesterday. So we'll do RoadCraft tomorrow morning, and then next week we'll probably do RoadCraft on Monday, depending on the time of the DLC to Mirage releasing. Hopefully Mirage Tuesday morning, but we'll work all that out, and that'll be in the schedule on Sunday. But that is it for today. A massive thank you guys for joining us. Thanks for the likes, the comments, the views, and the conversation. We're back tomorrow morning with RoadCraft. But until then, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you in a live stream very soon. Thank you all for watching. Bye-bye.